will give you a link. Oh, yeah, right. Forgot about the link.
Oh man, I can hear the game coming through the speaker.
What about now?
I can still
Same?
kind of hear it coming through your voice.
That's weird, actually. Because it shouldn't be like that. I'm sitting in my headphones.
Hmm. Strange. I wonder if I can hear myself on stream. Oh no.
Oh no.
I can still kind of hear it coming through your. Oh
That's
wow,
my
that's
tablet.
that's very delayed. Okay.
Wait,
That's good.
I will try and do something. I will try and enable. Um, I don't know the English word for it. Wait, let me just do something real quick. What about now? Do you still hear it?
Uh, press over the buttons again.
I did.
I don't hear
Oh,
anything, no.
I don't hear it now. No.
Alright,
I
now
had
it
to
should
mute,
be.
I had to mute the stream because it's delayed, and I didn't know if it was coming from the stream or you. But yeah, it's. I think it's fixed now.
Alright. So, yeah, now the last thing I need to check. Oops. Oh my god. What the hell happened? I just crashed.
Uh,
I think I
cool.
launched the wrong demo. I mean, yeah. I launched the map and
Let's see. It's on stream, so I can see exactly what happened here. Map. Medium. Loading game. Loads everything. And then black.
yeah, it's because
Okay.
my game crashed. I launched some.
Are you playing it on Steam?
Yeah, I played it.
It
I mean, I launched it from
it's
Steam.
Steam has a tendency not to like or mod. You make sure you go into options and check to see if shadows are turned on.
Anyway, it wasn't the main demo.
It's gonna do the same stuff on the demo if shadows are turned on.
Well, it
Because
did launch from
Steam
Steam.
Steam cannot Steam literally cannot render the shadows anymore. They broke the code for it. So yeah, AZ is very unstable on Steam. It's
Well,
intended for pre-Steam pipe clients and
it does
one.
work now. I don't know.
I should probably
Yeah,
start talking so I can check my audio levels on the stream too.
Yeah. And yeah, you check it because yeah, I switched audio off on my tablet, so I don't hear you. It's weird. Everything is too loud for me, and this thing doesn't do anything at all.
the audio slider.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm gonna chalk it up again to possibly another issue with Steam. I would open up console and just type in volume.
Wait, and if I don't need to launch it from Steam, how do I launch it with no Steam?
You would have to get a different client. Like you would have to install the original World Opponent Network version of Half-Life,
Ah, I
patch
see.
it to like
All right. I will
one.
I will do it from
Yeah,
Steam this time. There's
It's
no time.
yeah. You're gonna have to like open up console and just type in volume. There's Steam really just doesn't like easy for some reason. It's been an issue. That's why we put ourselves onto the Steam store, so we could have a convenient way for people to actually play it without having to deal with the Steam version of Half-Life or deal with
Well,
like
anyway,
finding a legacy version.
the bitrate was alright, so I guess we can start.
Yeah. Are you gonna be? Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's stream for the Half-Life 2 beta project. Today is April 12th, 2019. We're going to be going over the mod Absolute Zero. Today we have a few people with us. We have
Theuaredead.
Vitoy. He is hosting. He's the one going to be doing the playing. We have the Theuaredead and Lionel C. from the Absolute Zero development team. We're going to be going over the most recent demo of Absolute Zero, and then later on we're going to go through some development builds of Absolute Zero that have been released.
Possibly.
And if we have time during the end, we're going to be going through potentially a chapter of the Steam build of Absolute Zero.
Of the community's request.
Yes,
As long-
whichever chapter people find most interested.
As long as it's feasible.
And as long as the walkthrough of the main part won't take too much time, because actually I already played the demo of the mod, and there were at least, as I remember, there were 2 places where I got pretty much stuck, and I spent pretty much time trying to figure the way. And I'm no cheater like Ben. I won't use no clip or anything. I will still play it like a normal gameplay.
I'll be alright if you no clip to the box puzzle.
No, I will try. I will actually try and do not no clip this puzzle. I will try and. I already forgot how I got through, but still.
My favorite thing from watching like coverage or not coverage of gameplay of the demo is that everyone like spends like a half an hour on the box puzzle, but it takes me like a half an hour to complete the entire demo.
The true citizen knows that the donation is the greatest gift.
Someone donated, but I don't know how to check donations, but whoever it is, thank you.
We thank you very much.
We still have to figure out this donation stuff because we're new to this streaming stuff and we don't know much about it yet. But eventually we will figure it out. But for now, we just we're newbies in streaming.
I wasn't even aware there was a donation.
Me neither.
The chat, really good, very good, very well.
Wait, I actually I need to enable something, I guess. Yeah, right. Now all donations should be visible because I guess the last time it was invisible for everyone because I forgot to move it upper. Anyway, I guess I should start playing the game.
Sure.
Yep.
Here now you should be able to see the screen, and meanwhile, I guess everyone would like to hear from you guys some backstory, how the mod started, and what made you starting doing it, and why exactly you decided to concentrate your efforts on early 1998 era of Half-Life 1.
Well, ages ago, I wonder where we should start. Like, when I was little, I owned Hellfire for Diablo the expansion, which came with a preview for Half-Life. I looked at that demo because I used to explore a bunch of files and such, and like I thought nothing of it then. And then years later, it wouldn't piece together until after, like maybe sometime like 2013, I realized, oh hey, yeah, that's the thing I looked at when I was little. But I entered the beta community back in maybe 2009, just out of interest of like, because back in the day when you didn't have Half-Life 2 Deathmatch mounted to Garry's Mod, you didn't get any of its assets. So like the stun stick in Half-Life 2 files was still the beta stun stick. And that always intrigued me, and then I kind of looked into it further and realized that yeah, the development of Half-Life 2 was quite interesting, along with Half-Life 1's. But I ended up taking more of an interest towards Half-Life 1, so I ended up joining an old community site on free webs known as Half-Life Beta Revealed, and our goal was to reveal the beta. It was ran by one player D. He's no longer in the community, like a lot of people I used to know. But yeah, from there, like I was looking up a bunch of like research and stuff for Half-Life 1. I would go onto like Web Archive and look at like sites like ogr.org. Was it .org? I don't remember. And I was always fascinated by like the changes and such. So I ultimately like decided to create a mod. And before I created a mod, I created a really terrible Half-Life 2 map that recreated the room with the head grabbing the vending machines. So I started working on this mod. Well, I'm slightly out of order. I worked on Half-Life 1997 with Magic Nipples back in the day. But when I was, cause I had a bunch of free time. He didn't have as much free time. So to me, I kind of got annoyed by how quote unquote slow he would go, when in reality he was busy with life. And as a little like 12-year-old, you want things to go fast, quickly. So I ultimately branched out and started working on my own mod with a more of a focus with E3 to the German build 0.61. Because that's always what fascinated me the most about Half-Life, because it was the same game but different, you know?
It was
Mhm.
right on the middle when they were like
Yeah.
trying to change things, so it is a mix of. It's like the best mix of both phases of Half-Life's development.
So I ultimately sprung off of Half-Life 1997 in October of 2010 to work on what would be known as Half-Life E3 1998/1997, which obviously has been renamed to Absolute Zero because that's kind of a silly name to still be going by E3 1998. That and the fact another beta mod at the time, Quiver, was not a big fan of us, to say the least, and had a lot of influence in the community, and the community didn't want us either. Which years later, I find it ironic that we would learn that Quiver was basically about the same in progress-wise as E3 1998. It just looked prettier. So like they had barely any maps that were connected or playable, and it was mostly just minor edits to the game. And then, like, about, I'd say, 6 years later, we would end up actually having a proper release, and they never did. They ended up dying, or quote-unquote dying in 2011. They didn't really have any proper development since, from what I remember, 2007. Everything else was kind of them just saying they had progress, but they didn't really.
But it was the first mod, as I remember, the first such mod which started developing the content of Half-Life 1, right? Like in
Pretty much, yeah.
2005.
The first competent one.
What's interesting, I think, is that until 2005, there were both no mods about Half-Life 2 content, but that's obvious because, well, Half-Life 2 only came out in late
2004.
2004, yeah. And the same goes for Half-Life 1, and it came out like
I
6
think
years
it's the
before.
situation that most people just weren't that interested.
Yeah,
Because
probably.
E3 isn't that different from Half-Life. It has some glaring issues, or not issues, but differences. While as Half-Life 2, the whole game was different. So more people gravitated towards Half-Life 2 than Half-Life 1.
By the way, I wanted to ask about this chapter I'm playing right now. Is it based on the retail version of, like, you uh, rebuild the geometry and retextured it, or you made everything completely from scratch? Based on screenshots.
Some of it is just the retail geometry corrected to be the alpha geometry, because a lot of cases, a lot of the stuff was
Like this
just
room
the
here,
retail
right?
geometry. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's just the retail. I mean, in the current one, we redid the pipes because they were really poorly made, but the upper ones on the ceiling,
Oh, this one.
yeah, yeah. But certain stuff we would have to like recreate because at the time Jackhammer did not convert the Half-Life source VMFs natively, so we would have to manually convert all the VMFs to RMFs, which didn't give the luxury of converted the textures, so we would actually have to correct every single texture manually by hand. And alongside that, a lot of the more complicated geometry would end up breaking pretty bad. Everything would go off grid for some reason.
What about this
And
dead version of Barney? Was it made from scratch?
the model itself is in the SDK, while the textures were created by us.
Based on screenshots.
It's based on screenshots, but we textured it ourselves. We didn't like rip any screenshots and then texture upon them. We actually looked at the UVs and started texturing them.
How did you know, by the way, there weren't an elevator here and there was
There is an
stairs?
elevator there, actually. For some reason, we were like, yeah, there wasn't an elevator there, so we just slapped stairs there, and then like we looked at the geometry again. You can clearly tell the button used to be the alpha style button, and we just kind of shoved the stairs there just to be kind of different. The elevator's back now.
This demo has a lot of questionable decisions that we made up to the last second. So
Last second stuff and just weird guesses we had made.
What different type of media and things did you guys use as reference for recreating this era in Half-Life?
Interviews, magazine interviews, and voice interviews in some cases, footage and screenshots.
And the Duncan Scott comic.
And the Duncan Scott comic, as much as it liked to throw us curveballs, there was some some revealing stuff in there. Because like in the scene where they're in Office Complex, there's like 2 curveballs they threw at us. There was a vending machine in the hallway, which they photoshopped in wasn't actually a part of the map. And then there was a scene where one of the characters is pressing a button to turn off a turret, when in reality that button doesn't belong to Office Complex, it was We've Got Hostiles.
What about this portal device? I don't remember any screenshots where... I mean...
There is a screenshot. There is a screenshot of the alien grunt teleporting in.
Oh, yeah, right. I just thought it was much earlier.
Oh. That's exactly the era. The Duncan Scud teleporter's different, but we have no idea how that was constructed and when. We actually have a magazine preview that goes roughly through this entire sequence, including post-disaster.
Are there any chapters we don't have screenshots from, or areas, or is it quite a few screenshots?
There's a few that we don't. Chutes and Ladders, which is residue processing, we only have 2 screenshots of and some footage, but all it shows is that it's exactly the same as it was in the final game, minus some textures and stuff.
Jump there.
Yeah, the teleporter's supposed to teleport in.
Did any of the leaked September 1997 build help with any of the progress in this, or
mainly just models? Models mainly. We're using the questionable ethics from that though, just because because the questionable ethics in the beta, as far as we can tell, because we only have like 2 screenshots of it, was just the retail one, but with white textures, and we didn't really want to recycle it.
How many times did you guys have to do, like, basically, how authentic would you classify your build as for what information we know?
The demo, or
just your current progress. The Steam
current
version,
progress.
Version
I want to say 65%, because we take a lot of artistic liberties.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of things that there's a lot of things we straight up do not know, and there's no way to find
this
it out.
box to explode and kill him.
It explodes on the current build that we have. We just added that back.
Yeah. Yeah, it's...
There's a pistol behind the machine if you want to grab it.
Yeah.
This is from an interview that he found on a magazine where the guy is like explaining in detail how to
Yeah,
how he played the first chapter and he grabbed a pistol before the
crowbar. Yeah.
Yeah, and what is interesting about this pistol is that wait, it doesn't have the silencer? I thought it does.
You have to pick up the silencer. It's actually a pickup.
Alright.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can take it in 3 parts in the entire playthrough of the demo.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Because
You have to take the
we
scientist
wanted to
with
make
you.
we wanted to make sure you didn't forget to get the silencer, so we put it like 3 spots. Also, I'm gonna suggest you to turn off auto aim.
Yeah, it's really
It's
hacky.
auto aim is cursed. It's not in our options. It's in mouse, I think.
Yeah, there we go.
Yep.
How is your guys' team structured, and who's currently working on the project?
Our structured in how way?
I don't know. Like, do you have certain people working on certain things, or people have specific roles, or just
I mean,
how do you guys
we
organize things?
kind of everyone does everything, but everyone has like a basic role and what they're expected to do. We have a programmer. We have 2 mappers, one of which is currently missing in action. We haven't seen him in 7 months at this point. We have someone who does the soundtrack who's also the missing mapper, which is, concerning. That's why we had a delayer mod. We have program, we have mappers, we have artist, which is me and Alan, and then yeah. But we all do stuff because I've done maps, Alan's done maps, and vice versa.
I'm Alan, by the way.
Yeah. Liam LC is Alan.
What are the names of some of the other people on your team?
Zed Marine 23, who has been on the project as long as I have. He's been here since October 2010. And Blue 24, who is our programmer. We got Lionel C, of course, and then Cools is the mapper who is currently missing in action. And
Is it
then
the one who
after the demo, we hired Doom Marine 23, who worked on Yellow Shift, which, believe it or not, isn't still, in fact, in development. I don't know if he's going to make any further announcements in any recent time.
Yeah, but he's helping on a lot of shit
Yeah,
currently.
he does animations for us.
He's really good at it. He really helped a lot on the development lately.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it about the team. We kind of do our stuff and try to help each other out most of the time.
I really
How did the
like
process of getting on Steam come about?
It's down to the fact that our
You have-
build really does not cooperate with Steam Pipe.
Blow up that soda machine.
Yeah, I
Do
know.
the
Yeah.
other one.
I found this
Perfect.
thing in my first playthrough.
Perfect, because I wanted it to be really obvious that you can blow up that soda machine and you can get access to the. Perfect.
Yeah. We went to Steam simply because it was just annoying how bad our mod works with Steam Pipe due to a lot of the bad changes they had done to the engine. Like, if you turn on Shadows right now, the game will just crash. It would not play anymore.
Can you tell about this thing? It's a very cool feature that you got.
Oh, yeah, the antidotes.
Oh,
Yeah. That was based off of general previews and discussion. Implementation is down to how we interpret it and what we've seen of it. I mean, most people have played the demo. I would hope. If not, you should probably go play the demo. We've reached 3K downloads a little bit ago. Help us get the 4K, maybe 5K downloads. Plug. Anyway, but yeah, the antidotes automatically go off. You don't have to wait for it to go off, or not wait. You don't manually have to touch or tell the antidotes to go off.
A bit
A lot
later. A bit later in the game, I will tell a funny story of my first playthrough. How I had a pretty funny situation with this antidote and another cut feature.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
but-
you probably had low health and you're in a room full of, like H grunts and an H assault, and they probably knocked you out, and then the antidote's like, okay, time to bring it back in, even though you're in the line of danger.
Also, what about the mirrors? Is it still in the code? So you just
Uh,
can enable it?
No, in our credits, I'm pretty sure we still credit them. If not, it's in the current credits because we might have forgotten. But we modified the Spirit of Half-Life mirror code to match how it originally functioned. Because Spirit of Half-Life, its mirror code reflects world and models in the player model, while as Half-Life originally just reflected models that weren't the player. So we ripped out the world reflecting and the player reflecting, and then we have something that is close to being the original mirror.
Did you guys get on Steam via a greenlight function, or was it just
No,
directly from the community?
it was Steam Direct, yeah.
Okay.
We did greenlight for Firefight Reloaded, which is something we had published, and Left 4 Dead 0, which may it rest in peace.
Oh, by the way, yeah, I played your, was it called Fairfield Nightmare or something like that?
Fairfield Terror, we
Yeah, right.
partnered with them to help them complete the mod, or map, I should say.
It was mostly textures and
I always,
It was textures and direction.
yeah, I always dreamed to play this old version, which was much more like in horror movie than retail version.
yeah, it's really good.
I would love to go in depth about Left 4 Dead, but this isn't the time or place
Yeah,
to
we can do that at a different time.
Here's
about
the
Left 4 Dead.
counter. Is there
Because
need a
it's
scientist
it's
there.
gonna become like a hour-long rant about so many different things.
You
You
gotta
need to go
go
back. You
through
need to
with
go. Yeah, you need to go back to where the scientist was, where you killed those head
One-
crabs.
another one to the list of stuff that we fucked up.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
It's on the
Look at the
below
look at
the
the
billboard.
board.
Yeah, there we go. There he is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I missed
That's
it.
based off of actually a screenshot that we have of the E3 era, where there is in fact a scientist crouching, or not even crouching, he's just standing in that room.
Oh,
So
he
we were
made it
like,
in
okay,
one-
well it's an escort mission then. And then we put it in, and then we realized, wait, how's the player gonna see him? How do we communicate this to the player? Whatever.
we
That's
just
what
did
Valve
it.
did. That means it'll just work.
Yeah. Valve did it. That means it works totally. It's almost like it was cut for a reason.
That's one of the things that you find out a lot when trying to make a beta mod or just trying to
Yeah,
recreate cut stuff.
You realize why some things got cut.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
imagine. Same
And-
goes for Half-Life 2 beta
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. We try to correct a lot of the things that were cut for a reason. Though my favorite, actually, I want to make a comment about those doors. If you want to go back,
This one's...
there is
the
no
double doors-
logical way for these doors to actually function, because the door on the right would just go through the wall. That's where the
Yeah,
light
right.
is.
You just go through.
And at some point, we used to have two lights on both sides, but we still had the door puzzle, so you could see the door just clipping through the world. But
which one?
we quickly, the one on the left, that one that's opening and closing, we used to have a light beam to the left of it as well.
Just on
For
the other side
detail.
of the door.
Yeah,
You know, the light on the right with the brush.
Yeah.
It will clip out.
yeah. That was something we fixed pretty early on, because we were like, "Oh, that looks pretty," not thinking about, "Oh yeah, how will the door work?" There's another thing coming up that's like, yeah, Valve didn't think this one through either, which is the keycard puzzle. Which, from what we can tell, this is the only keycard puzzle Valve has ever put into the game. I don't really understand why.
But wasn't
But-
there more keycards puzzles in in alpha that
No, to my knowledge, there was no keycard puzzles in the alpha. It was just
it may
the
have been
beta.
a licensing requirement since they're using the Quick Engine. It may have been a requirement by id. You have to use a key card at least once in your game.
Because the keycard code's not like the the Quake keycard. In fact, the keycard code doesn't exist. It's just you pick up this key card and you set off a trigger, basically.
Mhm.
It's only in the beta for some reason, and it's like in an area that you would never see it. We're gonna keep it in, but we're gonna communicate it much better. Probably have a scientist actually outright tell you, "Oh, hey, you need to pick up a key card. There's some supplies by it," or something like that. It will allow you to understand that there is a key card you need to.
Wait, so this keycard opens this door?
No, the scientist opens up that door. The key card actually allows you to progress in the game. It's a mandatory thing.
Alright,
But Valve
I already
didn't.
forgot.
So this build we're playing here was released pretty much exactly 2 years ago.
Yeah, in 2 days. I uploaded it 2 years ago on this day. In 2 days, it unlocked for everyone to play.
Okay.
This is for another screenshot.
Yeah, a screenshot that's not very descriptive. That we kind of just like, yeah, whatever. Let's
In
put it here.
retail,
It's
there was
just that-
Vortigons.
Yep.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, Valve, wherever there were zombies, they shoved vorts. Because Office Complex used to be covered in zombies, not vortigons. But they changed it for some reason.
Valve used a lot of zombies as placeholder AI.
No, they use human grunts as
I mean
placeholders.
NPCs. Yeah, they just use zombies everything
So
and
this
grunts.
is where I applied the keycard.
Yep, that's where the keycard goes. Yep.
And no sewers.
Nope, no
No.
sewer.
If you look at the VMFs, like the map sources from the
It's
league,
forced in.
it's very forced in. Even the door. Oh, you got bleeding.
Yep,
Oh.
and you got claw damaged.
Wait, I never encountered this before.
Yeah, it's when a zombie hits you with its heart attack, it actually can cut you.
Whoa.
And then you start bleeding out until you pick up, I think, a
I
med.
didn't even know about such things in the game. I mean, well,
Yeah,
It's an
it was.
HV line.
Yeah, it's an I think, and it was also like something that was mentioned within the code, but never had any programming attached to it. Kind of like the HEV armor, which we still have yet to figure out how exactly we're going to implement that.
It has
Did
some
the
sort
release of the uncorrected proof of raising the bar affect your guys' development at all?
Kind of, it gave us a little bit more photographs of stuff that we hadn't seen, like the female scientist, and that the Alpha Guard was actually a thing.
oh, and there will be a female scientist, right, in your mod?
Not in the official maps. We might add it in for something like an SDK thing, because we can't figure out any way to implement it correctly into the mod.
It's a very,
But-
it's a very gimmicky thing with the
It's-
female scientist.
Yeah, it's very, very gimmicky, and yeah,
doesn't
it's
feel-
essentially the humanoid chum toad. Because the chum toad is supposed to be like bait for like alien slaves and alien grunts. For like, you send out a chum toad, and then it will seek out alien grunts, and then take them to you so you can mow them down. And then the female scientist was kind of like that, except she would betray you and go hunt down human grunts to attack you.
It didn't fit very well with the pacing of the chapter.
Yeah.
Which was new.
Yeah, but still,
It was-
if the way to implement it in the game could be found, it would be pretty cool, because
Yeah, of
and
course.
from what we can tell, it was also like it was cut before the leaked alpha, and not something that was made afterwards.
Just because of the X Lab on the back, we think that
The X
it was
Lab in the
some-
back, and we actually have the original dates for it on like thumbnails.
Like, it's pretty probable that they thought about this on the prototype versions, like
Yeah.
around
way.
the first trailer.
the big difference is that the bridge is still intact, unlike
Yeah.
retail.
I mean, I wouldn't say that's the biggest difference. I'd say the next part is quite a big difference.
Oh yeah, I'm coming to it. Oh,
You can step on
Is there a
him
trigger
and-
look or something? That the sequence only works when I look at him.
No, you walk up to him and then he knocks
just
down.
like on the video. It was like that on the video, so we kept
Yeah,
it
we
like that.
yeah we have footage of that area.
I think I also made it so if you walk away, he also falls. So he is
Yeah,
not-
and then if you get too close to the corner, you also can slip off of it.
And
Like
now
from the
this
video.
part, this part, Jesus, this part
Yeah,
was.
this part.
Even if it is complete on this mod, there is a lot to cover. There is a
Yeah,
lot.
when Valve Time released the Alpha 0.61 documentation for which was the German build that had a bunch of unauthorized screenshots for it, it actually documented this map decently well. And this came out, I think, after we had released the demo. So when we looked at the document, we realized that we had a lot of this incorrect. This map is a lot bigger than what we had made it out to be.
I think it is like 2 maps bigger, and this is all just 1 map before the next chapter.
Yeah. Because the
Holy.
area, the box puzzle room, I think was its own map, and the room with the generator was its own map as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
But we have so little documentation on that. Either we're gonna keep it like this, or we're just gonna wing it and just make something that we think could work.
You need to power the elevator.
Yeah, I remember, but these maps, like when in linear game there are too many places to go, it always kind of make me wish to explore everything.
Ah, yeah. No matter like that, like I had an idea for making a sewer
Also,
system.
this feature, it is very cool that you restored it as well.
Yeah.
I don't know how to code properly when you climb the ladder.
Hmm.
And this,
I know that our programmer had to struggle a little bit with it because the player code is like pure C, straight from Quake or something like that. So he had to experiment a little bit with it.
I wouldn't say it was that hard. I mean, the a lot of the
just noticed
programming, a lot of the programming in Half-Life's pretty good. A lot of it's forced, and you try to fix the AI at some point, but it's like it's broken in the engine. There's no way to actually correct it within the game code without access to the engine.
Yeah, you can fix the code, but then when you try to play it with the edited code, it is just broken. We had like a really broken AI for like a month because of trying to
Yeah.
improve the node system. Oh,
Yeah.
it was so bad. Like entities will pick nodes like behind a wall or below them on another floor. It was really bad, and just because we wanted to fix the node placing on staircases or on ramps, you know.
Yeah.
Just because of that small fix, it broke the AI.
this was a famous
So-
screenshot. I mean, from this place.
Yep.
Yeah, 0 days since that accident.
I think
There's
it's
also
even
Pathfinder
kind of
there.
featured on Overwiki.
I wonder why there's a random spark going through the wall right
There's a
there.
bottom there.
Is
There's a
there?
bottom.
Oh.
Yeah. I removed that. But
What?
it's
Oh,
oh yeah.
Yeah, the Panther Eye. Something we've changed in the current build is the Panther Eye's behavior. He used to be more of a stealth-based NPC
Oh my God.
in
Ooh.
the demo.
You had a
And now,
really
My
fancy-
now,
got antidote.
yep. Now, but 1 health.
Oh,
That was pretty fast.
But yeah,
I
there's a
feel
lot of
safe.
quirks with the Panther Eye. In
the
the
Panther is now full
demo.
aggressive now.
Yeah, we wanted to do it more stealth, but most people would never see him do his stealth abilities. So we ultimately were just like, yeah, we're just gonna make him aggressive because right now he just seems like a different version of the zombie, basically. The more you attack the Panther Eye, the more like faster and aggressive he gets in demo, and along with if you're not looking at him and if he can sneak up on you and actually jump at you, which most people don't see in the demo playthrough, sadly, but it is there. If you want to play around with the demo until he does it, he will jump at you.
But it was so like rare to have it. Like
I wouldn't say it was rare. It's just you never enter a scenario where you could have him jump at you.
Yeah, I mean, stealth it sounds cool in plan, but
Yeah.
but
Just
on
like the
paper,
Hydra.
like, yeah. I mean, the Hydra was like kind of neat, but on the Panther, it's like, yeah, you can do all of this stuff if you meet the requirements for it. Like, if you're not facing the Panther, right? Like, it was really conditional based. Like, you have to meet a lot of requirements to make the Panther to leap on you. That's why we made it so.
More aggressive in newer builds.
Yeah.
Does it still
It
have
leaps
a
at you.
bone on its tongue?
That is a tongue.
I don't see it.
Yeah, because he's dead. It retracted
Yeah,
into
yeah.
his body. It's only in
It's
certain animations. We also reworked the barnacle, which is why you don't see him.
Yeah, you had to get
Oh.
close in order to see the tongue too.
Now it makes sense.
Yeah.
This is pretty cool. It's even because, well, in the original game, when you played for the first time, it's well, it's unexpected. I mean, you don't know where barnacles are, and they still can catch you. But when you play it like second and
A
next
second or
time,
third time, you know exactly where the barnacle are, and then you shoot
yeah,
up and
and
just kill them.
they just
This you walk in a room like, oh, no barnacles, and you just like, and you're just standing there all proud of yourself. I can walk through this room, and then it just comes down, grabs you by the neck, and just yanks you up.
Alright, now here's the infamous room with boxes and with this puzzle, and I don't remember what should I do here, and I will try and figure it out right now.
It's all down to like timing of the boxes. I think it went like
Alright, I can jump on this box
one,
from here.
1, 3.
It should move up. Yeah.
It should move up, but you need to move like the front 2 down so you can jump on them.
Outside of recreating maps and models, what other features did you guys restore, like via the code base or other gameplay features that were originally in Half-Life?
We re-added the violent deaths. There is some cut and death animations added.
The barnacle, not the barnacle, the alien slaves used to be barnacled. Like if they walked underneath a barnacle, they would get caught up as well. But Valve removed that for some reason. I'm not sure why, but now that's back into the mod. Close,
Yeah,
but
we
no
apologize
cigar.
in advance. This puzzle is 10 times easier now.
Yeah, because it's a timing and fucking order puzzle here, and we were just like, oh yeah, people will figure it out.
Yeah.
People didn't figure it out.
We just gave it for granted. That's a lot of things that happen to me while making maps. Like you start testing the map so much that you start to
You memorize everything, and then you aren't thinking like, okay, what if a new player would play this?
yeah. That's why you gotta playtest and get proper playtesters.
Yeah.
I think it was.
Oh, yeah, right.
You had to jump on that one.
You missed your time.
There we go. Now jump at the other one. Perfect.
And then you should jump on that one.
There we go. The demo should be 10 times easier. Oh,
And now
well,
you're done.
Well, it's
That's on
all
your-
because I'm streaming and I got FPS drop, so
yeah.
it kind of makes me.
God bless these scores.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right. I spent.
There should be a med kit in the room to the side.
I
think this is a world
spent more
record.
than 20 minutes on this puzzle when I played it the first time.
Yeah, it's up.
Yeah,
and then
well,
the
I've got.
antidote.
Yep.
But yeah, we put the violent deaths on the NPCs. Like, if you see every beta model or on the alpha models, there is a violent death animation.
Yeah. Another thing we restored is actually the bull squid spit was supposed to do like toxicity damage to you. So if he spat on you, it would actually don't jump down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just came from.
He will actually do poison damage to you. That will be long and painful. So like if he spits on you, you similar to like the bleeding damage.
And
You would be
Yeah.
constantly taking damage.
will I need to find a medkit to stop the toxicity damage as well as for bleeding damage?
That is actually, I think, an antidote, not a medkit thing. So if a bull squid spits at you, you need to find one of the antidote.
We also put the big flinch, the big flinch animations.
Yeah.
That one is.
We restored the human grunt
I wonder-
strafing
Hmm.
because in the alpha and the beta they used to strafe, but they cut that.
I never thought about jumping on the crate from that position. Huh. That's
I did.
interesting.
I also
Wow.
thought about jumping from the crate from the platform as well.
It kind of reminds me of Beta Ravenholm when they get plans to use a card to move around.
Hmm. Yeah.
Uh,
Kinda does.
You will see
strange thing in one of the
2019 effect.
screenshots. One of the weirdest things in like a beta screenshot is that there's just a scientist on the box.
On this one?
Yeah, it's just a random scientist on it.
Yeah, just there standing there,
Well,
and he will move along with the crate.
It
Yeah,
could be they
no one
just
knows
made
why.
it for the screenshot and like it's a staged screenshot.
I wouldn't even say it was a
I-
staged screenshot. It could very much be that there was more to the box puzzle than we thought, and then someone just escorted a scientist onto the box and they just started moving it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a lot to the
Yes.
chapter, but we have no clue about it.
Yeah, this is probably one of the least documented chapters
Oh,
in the
no.
entire thing.
Oh. Oh, there we go.
Get into the room.
It almost got
There's
me.
a lot of weird ammo placement and item placements in the this demo. Because in that room, for some reason, there was shotgun shells, but you don't get the shotgun until Office Complex.
Yeah, we broke a valve rule there. If you don't have
Yeah.
the weapon for it, don't give the player ammo for it. Which is
Yeah.
something that I also broke on Power Up. You can get crossbow
Yeah.
ammo on Power Up, oddly enough.
Oh,
And then
I
another
enabled
weird.
the power rate for the elevator. Now I can go just in there.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
go to the Office Complex now.
Yep. I was thinking about making a camera sequence for this one, so as long as you press the generator lever, it changes the camera and shows that you can use the elevator now.
But yeah, another thing we fucked up in the demo is that in Office Complex, you can pick up one of the long jump batteries for some reason. And people in the demo discussions like, I picked up a long jump battery in Office Complex. Is that a bug? And then someone responded with, yes, that's a bug. It's not a bug, but it is not intended.
There we go. Anyway. This is the 182 Offices Complex.
Yep.
I think
A lot of regrettable things done in the demo version.
And no,
Yeah.
no
Because
electricity.
no, it's not there.
Yeah.
Because the beginning of the chapter played out differently, because you don't actually have to access the other room, it's just a bonus. So like weeks before we shipped the demo, I was just like, yes, we need to redesign the later half of Office Complex. And so we did. There's a lot of regrettable things. Like, there's a room where you bust through the glass of the ceiling. I don't remember what it's called. I'm sure someone knows.
Oh, I remember it because
Yeah. And the ceiling is like super tall, and for some reason Zed put Stuka bats in there.
Well, I
And
think
then-
it was me.
I don't know, someone put Stuka bats in there, and then I questioned it. Like, why is there Stuka bats in Office Complex? And there's just the only response I got was like, yeah, it's to show off the Stuka bats in the demo. But we have communications center. Oh. And then it just never got removed, so it's still in there.
yeah, but I thought that they were supposed to be in there when I played your demo.
Nah, they're not supposed to be in there. We intended to remove them, but they were still in there for some reason. They were only there for demo purposes, and even that I didn't want it in there.
Just development, video game development things.
Yeah, and then someone's gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna do the beta mod of absolute zero beta mod, and they're gonna put the Stuka Bats back into Office Complex for no reason.
The story progression of Half-Life, how did the chapters change from the retail version compared to this? Like, what chapters do we have in here, and what order were they in?
All the chapters are all the same.
Okay.
Like, in the sense, like, they all progress the same. You go from anonymous materials to or anonymous materials to unforeseen consequences to Office Complex to, we've got hostiles, then blast pit, then power up, and then on a rail.
It's
all
like
the same.
Okay, so this era didn't have any chapters that were cut. This is just the older version.
In the 0.61 documentation, it seems like the alpha questionable ethics were in there, but residue processing was also in there. And that we know. So, yeah. I mean, it's possible that Security Complex was also in 0.61, but we don't know, and there's a lot of flaws with the design of the Alpha Security Complex, and we couldn't figure out how exactly to get it to tie into our current blast pit. So we ultimately just went back to we've got hostiles.
It's kind of interesting because after the reboot, after the alpha, they were very solid about what they had in mind.
Yeah, they knew, like, for some reason, I guess they learned a lot of game development just from the alpha. They learned what didn't work, what did work. And a lot of what didn't work you can see in the alpha. And we're trying our hardest to avoid what didn't work. Because it doesn't make the game fun. It may make it accurate, but it doesn't make it fun.
It's something very interesting, like why they changed Forget About Freeman. Forget About Freeman had another puzzle link with the satellite, and they changed that because it makes sense why they changed it, because you come from Surface Tension, which is like a full of action chapter, and it's really weird that you will come from Surface Tension and then go to yet another puzzle chapter. So that's why they cut that chapter completely and made it just another connection to the Lambda Labs.
Yeah, still it was pretty cool. I mean, the communication center.
And
yeah,
it's very weird. A lot of things were cut very late into development. Like, Communication Center was like in the game months before release, and certain parts of the original Surface Tension were still in the game. Like, even I wouldn't say weeks, but like weeks before day one shipped. Like, not even weeks before. It was still like certain parts of Surface Tension was still the old E3 maps in day one. Even the RPG was still the old RPG in day one.
Yeah, they
very
probably really started playtesting it with some random people and started listening to their like feelings.
feedback.
Yeah.
Another possibility is just Valve, like, to put it in perspective, Zen wasn't done at all until like the final moments, which is why it's such a notoriously bad chapter.
Well, personally, I don't think so. But I see you agree with Gabe Newell here.
Yeah, they waited until literally the last minute to go ahead and make Zen. Interloper is alright. It's probably the most thought out of the 4 chapters, but the rest are not good. And while I don't want to talk about AZ Zen quite yet, we do have plans to make Zen not like what was shipped in the final game.
So it still will be in the
closest we will get to Zen that's like similar to the final game is Interloper, because Interloper is still kind of alright because it's structured correctly.
The intro and the finale will be different.
But I can't fully confirm that Zen will be in AZ, but we are looking into it and we're considering. It's just a matter of, how stuff goes.
Yeah, I guess you want to release. Oh, what was that? The green thing.
That should have been a radiation antidote.
So I can step in radiation with no consequences.
For a little bit. It will. You can take a hit and then get out of it quickly without taking health.
So here it is, the famous moment from E3 play demo.
Yep.
Barney's too busy. Oh, there we go.
Freeze! I rarely heard this line from him in retail.
I don't think it's
doesn't
not programmed in. That's the
No,
thing.
it is coded in. For some reason, it doesn't work.
It either doesn't work or it was ignored in like the sentences.
I don't know.
We ended up fixing it. So another thing that was in the animation files, but he's dead, so we can never see it. Rest in peace.
Well,
another strange thing that they had animated but never implemented was that Barney could actually reload his Glock.
wait, there's animation, but it doesn't use in code.
Yeah, you looked away as soon as he started reloading his pistol.
I didn't realize. Yep, now we can see it.
Yep. He actually was able to reload. And we re-implemented it.
In retail, he was never able to reload.
Nope, he just constantly shot.
Holy crap! I never noticed that.
I wish we had those temporary voice lines made by Laidlow for the demo.
We'll never get the real ones, but we do have plans on re-recording all the voice lines. We have a voice actor for it.
I also like how this whole scene goes silent.
Yeah, it's probably because the sounds weren't completed, so
Yeah,
at an accuracy's sake, we were just like, whatever, let's make it silent. I'm sure someone would have yelled at us if we didn't.
Wait, where's Barney?
Right there.
He's too busy doing something else. As for the reloading, there is some comment in the code about the logic about, Barney taking ammo from a clip, but they never implemented it fully. That's something really, really fun.
Another thing that was either broken or disabled in the code is that the zombies are actually bullet sponges.
What do you mean?
They're kind of resistant to your bullets. So like the more you shoot it, it will push it back, and then it can just absorb your bullets. So like if you shoot it in its chest, you're just pushing it back, and it will eventually die. But it's not taking as much damage as it would like if you were to headshot it.
And we had to tweak down the values for the bullet resistance because it was insane.
Yeah, it was getting to the point where AZ was unplayable because of the zombies.
Yeah, it was like they will take 10% of the actual damage.
Even then, we have it set so certain difficulties the game behaves in a certain way. So in easy mode, the zombies basically not as a bullet sponge at all, but in hard, they're bullet sponges.
Well, good thing I'm playing on medium.
Yeah, so if you play on easy, medium, and hard, your AZ experience will actually be different in slightly different ways. Like in easy mode, the barnacle's tongues are always hanging down, if I remember that correctly.
Yeah, just
but in medium and hard, it will just, go up and you won't tell. It's I wouldn't say dynamic. It's more or less we're designing difficulties as they should be. Because a barnacle with its tongue down is going to be good for easy mode, but if we hid the tongue upwards, it might mess with people who aren't that good at games or not good at Half-Life and want more of an easy experience. And we don't want to sacrifice the feature just to make it so we hold your hand. So we would rather make different difficulties have different features.
Oh no.
So, another cut thing is the grenade throw, because there is multiple different tiers to grenade throwing. So like short distance, you toss it underhand, and then medium and hard, you actually throw it overhand.
Yep.
Yep. all that effort to save him, he just dies again.
funnily enough, that sequence was originally interruptible, so you can resurrect Barney back. But we
Yeah, and in the beta, it just kept going, and you never actually, or the scientist never actually recovered Barney. He just kept sitting there, trying to recover him. But we decided to actually make it so he is recoverable.
Like in retail. Except
Yep.
in retail, the scene is at the start
Different.
of the game.
yeah, it's at the start when the disaster happens.
Hey, what the hell are you doing down here? Get topside.
Oh, this is the best part.
Welcome to Let's Force Office Complex Redesign a week before we ship a demo.
And we are gonna
Maybe-
meet the stupid
Bro,
bats.
by yours truly, that you are dead.
Yeah, it's one of my many regrettable choices, but I still prefer the more changed Office Complex over.
Yeah, now
the
the toxicity
pre-demo.
works.
I don't know why you didn't leave anything there in that room. There's nothing.
I don't know. I know that the room is inaccurate to how the screenshot is, but we just winged it. Whatever.
Oh, you're going to bleed out now.
Yep. Well, actually no, it stopped.
This
Could
is
it be-
cringe. This
Could it be triggered by using? I mean, I tried to use the.
I
automatic...
think over time it stops. Over time it stops.
All right, so here's the story I got when I first played your demo.
Mhm.
In here, I lost all my health points in here because after Stukabet's battle, there are headcrabs, I think, or zombies downside.
Mhm.
yeah.
So I had all very low health points, and I was killed, and unexpectedly because I didn't know about this feature yet. This
You had an antidote.
antidote feature worked, and surprisingly I survived. But then I accidentally hit one of the scientists with my pistol or crowbar, and
And he just starts punching you.
yeah, I didn't show this feature yet, but it's pretty cool as well.
The scientist punch. The scientist punch. I don't think actually did anything originally. I think it was a scripted sequence, but out of just shits and giggles, we added it in.
Yeah, it was pretty unexpected as well. So there are just two unexpected things for me, and it felt very cool for me. Very unexpected and cool. Two features at once. and this was also funny because scientist eventually killed me.
Yep.
I was like, I was lying dead. I mean, I spent the last antidote on those zombies, and then there was this scientist, and I was like, what? What the hell happened?
Also, Sam placed on the chat. These are made by ghouls, if I recall.
What, the Stukabet sounds?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're cool. He messed up the audio channel so it peaks too much.
Yeah, it
But
clips a lot.
we can't get in contact with Cool, so we can't get the original master to correct that, sadly. So we're probably gonna have to redo him.
Oh no, I'm gonna
Unless
die.
he comes back.
I'm gonna die. I don't have bullets. I'm
I'm-
gonna find something.
You can sneak past the zombies.
You can wing it. Don't you have a shotgun?
Oh yeah, right.
Oh, he didn't. Oh.
Yeah, because I watched him pick it up and I never hadn't seen him use it.
That's
So
I
I'm just
forgot
like,
about it. Wait,
It's-
did
the
it just
shotgun
kick
is
the
too
zombie
cool.
back?
come again?
Not
Yep,
back.
it does kick. It
Yeah,
does
yeah,
kick
there's not-
NPCs back.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
the zombie. It's a part of it, their bullet sponge thing. You can actually launch them with your shotgun if you aim it correctly. A little fun fact about Absolute Zero: some of the oldest assets in the mod that are still being used is parts of the shotgun and the Hound Eye. I had created the Hound Eye sometime in 2013, and the shotgun was built. I built the shotgun sometime in 2012. And it's some of the oldest stuff that's still being used in the mod to this day.
Yeah, the eyes are really old.
Yeah, and even when we had gotten the real Hound Eye with the various leaks that had happened, it turned out my eyes were somehow better quality than the real ones, and pretty faithful too. So we just kept using the old ones and just added in the new eye texture that was not, part of the set.
So the creation of this project has made me start thinking a little bit more about another thing that would be cool to do.
No, they corned me.
Yeah.
One of my favorite error reports about the Stukas is just like, yeah, they don't work. Because people don't realize that they're passive NPCs. They don't actually target you until you target them.
Do you have an adrenaline? Oh, there we go. And you stick
Yeah. Can you get them? Nope.
So yeah, looks like just ignoring proceed to the freeze. To the
Yeah. To
Wait,
the
so they
freezer.
won't attack me unless I attack them, right?
Yeah. There might be some minor issues with the code in Office Complex, considering that you're not supposed to encounter Stukas in Office Complex. But in, like, on a rail and stuff like that, they're just supposed to be passive. Either you alert them with a loud sound like a shotgun, or you shoot one and they start going, okay, he's a threat, so they start going after you. Is how it's, programmed in. And that's how we can tell it was like in E3, because you can actually see the Stuka bats in on a rail. Yeah, something alerted them to be in aggressive mode.
Oh no.
So yeah, they're gonna want your blood.
I don't want to fight them anymore.
Well, you're going away that you can't return.
Alright, yeah, feed
yeah, we tweaked them on as of right now. Like they're
Yeah,
slower.
they're also a little better.
They rely on nodes. Like the way we did this NPC, it uses triangulation. Like it shoots a lot of tracers and tries to determine to make a path from that, and it will like follow the player.
This monster
Probably-
looks like very mist-like, from the book.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it makes sense because they base Half-Life. Like one
Yeah.
of the many inspirations is from the mist. Which is kind of cool though, how Half-Life is just a game that is inspired from
A bunch
of
of different
novel-
sources.
yeah, it's movies, books, and from anime too, from Akira. Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
Well, not even just Akira. There's the tech demo mech is from an anime as well.
Oh, it's too
Yeah.
easy trying to.
He really wanted that scientist.
So the perfect companion project to this release would be, speaking of going back to the Diablo Hellfire artwork, Diablo Hellfire on the jewel case shows a very early version, the 1987 version of the cover art.
Yeah.
That would be
Which is
really cool to recreate that box.
There's actually like 3 different cover arts for the alpha version of Half-Life. That's just one of them.
That one is so cool because it shows the gun on the side instead of the half face of Gordon.
There's another-
that would be such a cool box to own.
There's another one that has a different gun, and then there's a third one which I don't think has a gun.
I just now want to make that box and make a physical release of this for myself. That'd be so cool.
Yeah, the puzzle here is also different, I remember.
Yeah. This is still like this in the current build. Well, actually, no. I might have changed it. I don't remember now. Oh, no.
here it is.
I might have changed this puzzle, but I fucking can't remember for the life of me.
You have to. Yeah, it is the old puzzle, so you have to push that big crate on you, and
Yeah.
then.
And it's
connect it to
very
the
buggy
simulation with
because big
shotgun.
boxes pushes. Is it pushing?
I don't know.
Press E. There we go. No, it definitely push. Big boxes and Funk Pushable do not get along, so I think I changed the puzzle.
What happened?
That bull squid shot you.
But there's no bull squid.
Oh, then it had radiation damage. But it stopped. Well, you probably had a radiation antidote. Actually, it's probably in that big circular room It's probably where the bull squid was, and he got into a range where he could shoot you. But yeah, I think I changed the puzzle in the current version. I think I just put a vent there. But I honestly don't remember if I did or not, 'cause it's been a while. You might not be able to make that jump. Nope.
Good thing
Too far away.
Just press E and try to pick up the crate from the vent.
Yeah.
These-
I don't think.
Oh,
There we go. That's a
much,
little
too
bit
much.
too much.
Too much.
I hate the physics, and it is just like a simple problem. Like they put
And you can't fix unless you have the engine.
like
So you might be able to jump up from there, but I'm not sure. But
it's
yeah,
fixed on the core build.
I don't think it's quote unquote fixed. I think I just changed the puzzle outright because
no,
the
we
box.
fixed it. Like you remember how a programmer found that the way the
Oh yeah, the velocity on boxes is fixed. Yeah.
yeah.
The puzzle is different though, from what I remember. I think I changed it.
I knew this freak would be there.
I think that Valve use plus plus or equal plus for the acceleration of the crate, and how it will determine it will fix the player's velocity. So instead of like setting the player's speed to the crate speed, it will increment it. That's why you go so fast when pushing crates. It's such a small oversight and makes such a big change.
Let me. I want to read through some of the comments. Let's see.
Someone's supposed to snap like a vehicle.
Oh, and
Whose voice reminds you of Todd Howard's? I don't sound like Todd. I don't think.
in retail, I remember there's G-Man walking here, and here, I mean, during back stages there was.
No, it's not in that location. It's the door up. If you walk up the stairs, that's where the G-Man was.
And also, this room with automatic machine gun. I mean, with the turret.
The one American dude interrupts 90% of the time. Wow, it could be because I'm the project lead.
Okay, anyways, as for the release date, I really wish we could release this, but the problem is that I'm really busy with life right now. I'm starting a new career at university, and most of the time I just dedicated myself to studies. As for the rest of the team, that's the same. Doom, the animator, and the guy that helps us with maps, Zed Marine, they are also both busy with their careers. So it's like we are hitting that point in our we are hitting that point in our lives when we are very busy trying to keep up. But I don't know. The thing is that don't be worried that this project won't die. Like as long as I have 2 hours to dedicate my time to this, I'm pretty sure that the project will.
And by the look of this, oh no, it almost killed me. But by the look of your screenshots, it looks very late in development. I mean, it looks pretty much like it's gonna be released. It could be released just in a few months.
I mean, if we push it, maybe. But the problem is that I have exams in the upcoming 3 weeks, and
as stated before, Cools is still missing.
Yeah, we are missing one of our mappers still, and he has a big portion of the last map.
And he didn't give you his versions of maps.
He was working on the maps while he had the chance, but he would have to. He has to pay for his own internet because his parents are no longer paying for it. But I don't think he has enough money from his job to actually pay for internet. So we haven't seen him in a while.
I mean, there's a lot of reasons, but we don't want to get deeper into that. But yeah, it's pretty much done. Like where we are missing is on a rail, and the second half of Lambda Labs, and the second half of surface tension. Those are the key points that we are missing. But once we are done with that, PC will be like completable from start to finish. Apprehension is done.
This reminds me of my first playthrough of Half-Life 1. When I for half of the game I always had very low HP because I was dying everywhere.
I know,
And
I know.
now after 50 of walkthroughs from start to the end, my health points hardly go down. I don't know, 50 HP, and and now in AZ, I suck pretty much everywhere.
And now you have the turret there.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be fun with 25 health.
Just run past. As long as they're picking a zombie, I'm pretty sure you will be fine because they don't change unless they lose sight. But
Or you just take a Glock and try to snipe the thing.
yeah, this also is entirely different on the current build.
Yeah. There you go.
Easy.
Yeah, and originally the idea was to get here and press the button to turn it off.
Yeah.
We're not sure if that's actually how it went. That's just kind of how we interpreted everything.
Yeah,
Because
very
the
much.
image is very low quality. We can only see like an area with a turret. That's about it.
Get up the elevator shaft. You should be able to get to the surface. Try to send help and let the world know.
The office complex has changed a lot since the demo. A lot of the maps have.
This scene wasn't in retail, but I think the dialogues are still there.
Nope, the dialogue is not.
Bad feeling about this. Get the hell out
Uh,
of here.
neither is the script sequence either. So we're not really sure what exactly they meant by it. It's just there.
This bar was also featured in 398, and I don't get why we don't have any video footage of it.
Yeah, we have no cam footage. We have some screenshots, but that's about it. We have like a clip of it, which is where the zombie falls from the glass. That's it.
We know this is the last part of the map because it has so many sequences from that were used on the. Ah, there we go. That's the punching.
Yep, and he's gonna get the shit beaten out of him.
He also has the bodyguard.
As Barney's in the back scratching his ass.
Yeah. Just that's how the mafia works. That's how Black Mesa works.
I'm surprised Barney didn't go ahead and see
Hello
you as
there.
a target.
I see you are in this mess too.
I like how casual scientist who does this jump talks, both in retail and in AZ.
Yeah, he just stands there just right after jumping. Hello there.
But bust through the window? Yeah, I'm fine.
This is fine. This is my favorite part, just a bunch of zombies. I had a lot of fun with this part. Making
Yeah,
this part.
how the hell could they go through the walls?
I don't know.
Don't
Valve logic.
Yeah, it's just a cool scene.
I mean, they saw through that, and that's why they made it so just one zombie goes through the.
Valve is just like, yeah, it looks cool. Let's put it in.
Yeah.
I don't think they were too phased by the logic.
Yeah, the enemies can't make it through a door, but they can make it through a brick wall.
Yep.
There's another one.
It's just kind of one of those situations. I mean, that's kind of how it is with game design. It's fun and coolness before logic.
The first spot that you saw with the animation, like of the zombie breaking through the wall, that was on the screenshot, and the other two holes are actually on the alpha maps.
Yep.
They are just holes next to walls, and they have like the geometry to look like they are
I remember
caves. So
these these letters from the trailer, or there was even
They're also in
a
the alpha,
gameplay
yeah.
video.
Seabox crawling out of the woodwork is a classic zombie horror moment. Doesn't require explanation ever. That's true. It is just for the shock value, for the fear value. Early alpha, not really. Headcrabs were supposed to be they like the headcrabs were introduced really early on development, and we know that sometime around the reboot, I think Chuck Jones came with the idea of the headcrabs actually turning humans into zombies.
Really? I didn't even know
There's
this.
concept art of the old green suit.
I mean, of the headcrabs. I'm pretty sure they were thinking about the parasites actually controlling humans, but I mean, you know that.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird things with the head crab. It's like right before they rebooted it, we did get the what would become the final head crab as well.
Oh god, 1 HP.
I
Good
can,
luck.
No, I can't.
Yeah, just wing it. Just wing it.
Was there really G-Man supposed to be in that room initially? I mean,
Yes, there's scripted sequences that are
There's
still
some
left
leftover.
over. Yeah.
There's some leftover. It's G-Man sequence, and I think
yeah,
it
I
was.
remember. I think even Marshall mentioned it in one of his videos.
Yeah.
I
Pretty.
remember.
It's pretty much that. Oh, what are these dudes?
Oh yeah, right. I can move the boxes.
Yeah. I would just say to snipe them away.
But because of my FPS, I couldn't move the mouse quick.
Yeah, that's because of the Discord screen sharing, right?
Yeah, it's just my CPU unit is not too powerful.
Oh, just
And
use double
it
shot.
can't hold too many things at once.
Yeah. I think each vent spawns 3 headcrabs. I clicked that down, but
Yeah, this is probably the worst chapter in the whole demo, in my opinion. It's just... Yeah, but since we were so focused after the demo trying to redesign it as security complex, not much progress was done to make this less shit. It's one of those trouble chapters we will have to go in and rework here soon.
Yeah, one thing I forgot to mention is that the head suit was much more red color than in retail.
Yeah, in retail it's orange and the beta was red. In a certain area, you didn't even have gloves, it was barehanded.
That's interesting that the beam here is also red instead of teal
Blue.
or blue.
Yeah.
that's from one screenshot that we found.
Yep, of surface tension of the mine puzzle.
And the 3 mines had no model, and they had a red beam.
Yep.
Such a weird thing, but it makes sense. I mean, you want.
I can't remember if you can pick up the trip mines in the demo or not. But
I
we
don't
did
remember.
enhance the trip mine a little bit, so it actually plays the place animation similar to like how trip mines are on Duke 3D.
Well, I can enable Impulse 101 after I finish the demo.
Yep.
We can use one of the devs' C-bars. Fuck everything.
Yeah, fuck everything. Or fuck my shit up, I think is another one.
I think fuck my shit up, like, remove the minimum delay on everything so we will just be unable to spam everything.
A lot of weird cheat commands no one's ever found out about the demo.
Holy. Yeah, that's one of the flaws with Half-Life, and if you have no armor, you're screwed.
Yeah, with like bullet-based NPCs.
Yeah. That's something that impresses me why Valve didn't, like, realize about that. They fixed it on Half-Life 2, but on Half-Life 1, say, if you have no armor, you're done. Like, you will get 100% damage from everything. Will Pebble Finch, will you show some new medium of the actual AC on the stream? Maybe? I really...
Perhaps. Depends on time. Depends on what people want to see.
Perfect. Good, good.
Wait, what? It's
Oh yeah,
invisible.
yep, yep.
Oh,
Just ignore
I
it.
hate
Just
this.
ignore it. Just ignore it.
Once the level changes, there we go. Now you can use it.
Ah,
Now you can use
yeah,
it.
that actually makes sense.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
It doesn't. I have no excuses for that.
Don't justify our terrible decision there.
Oh, now here comes the badass guy.
Yes, without armor and low health, pretty much can't out past this part.
Goodbye, world. Oh no.
Oh, he bounces.
I forgot.
Yeah,
Ah,
auto saves were not the demo's expertise. That's
well,
fixed.
they're not Half-Life expertise as well. I mean, there aren't too many autosaves in the Half-Life 1.
Hmm.
They're pretty good placed in Half-Life 2 though.
I
Yeah,
learned a lot from this. Like,
yeah, this was also not my decision. A lot of the other changes in this chapter were all my fault. But this was not mine.
it's like I just resurrected from making this chapter, and I learned so much from mapping and level design at the same time.
There's a
Thank you,
blunt.
Barney.
Yeah, yeah. If you snipe them away, you will be fine. You should be fine.
Oh yeah, you can actually shoot Grunt's head off in the demo.
Still,
Yeah, yep.
I want to show him in the stream.
Flash.
He was pretty cool enemy, I think, but it could be that he was too difficult for some people.
Probably a lot of areas where the turrets are, where the human assault were placed in like
And
later
the-
chapters, like surface tension. Oh, you're out of ammo.
Do you have a grenade?
I think I do.
Oh, you got him. And it's the human grunt is gonna kill him. Save.
No way.
No way.
Oh,
Okay.
I can't get.
that's something that even after years of playing Half-Life, something that I never learned how the curve on the grenade works.
It doesn't help we change the curve.
Oh yeah, the velocity. We changed that.
Oh,
We changed
Take
a lot.
control
With
over.
the grenade.
alright, this time I will make it.
And also, just as a fuck you move, if you get behind a crate, the human assault is going to draw a tracer and shoot the crate until it's dead, until it breaks. So you can get behind cover a breakable object against a human assault on this model. He's also more resilient than the other skills, like he will chase you more, he will be more prone to stop spinning his minigun and chase you. Unlike this version when he just stands still and waits for you.
Seaboss is asking how the MP guards were once hostile. But I hate to break it to you, Seabox, they were never hostile. Whoever was playing in the trailer of 1997 just shot the Barney. That's literally it. For the longest time, people thought he was hostile, but you can clearly see where he shoots the Barney, and the Barney reacts like, "Oh yeah, I'm now going to become hostile." So
It's said in Racing the Bar, I think.
But in some cases... Oh, sorry.
That thing that. Wait, wasn't it mentioned in Racing the Bar that they were hostile at some point?
it might have been uncorrected proof, which is why it's called uncorrected proof.
Yeah, pretty much. Also,
It's just I remember the story Bell told about them that initially they weren't to be friendly units who were to follow the player, something like this, and then it was completely by chance that they found out that people actually liked that they're following them and helping them fighting monsters and other enemies.
I don't recall
I
that.
might be wrong.
I don't recall that.
Like I said at the start of the stream, I'm far from being Half-Life 1 cut content expert.
Yeah. And then someone asked, but on some screenshots you can see MPs standing near soldiers. It's because they're being taken hostile. They're hostages to them.
yeah, I think the only screenshot we shot about that.
It's still a command and like hammer.
Yeah, and that's because there is a reason why that Arnie's with song runs on the Power Up chapter. I think it was Power Up, if I recall.
It's footfall,
Footfall on the beta version.
which is power up.
Wait,
There is a reason why that Barney isn't there. I have written something when the voice actors gets to it about why he's with the grunts.
Yeah.
so
He's
Power
a
Up chapter
prisoner.
was called Footfall?
Yeah, a lot of them were changed. First map before, like pre-disaster anonymous materials, is just not called anything. And then after the portal explodes, which is still in the beta, was actually still part of anonymous materials. That was called the portal device. A1A1 or C1A1, I have no idea what it was originally intended to be called. Maybe it was still unforeseen consequences.
Slash the portal device.
No, because I'm talking about how the beta has it set out. Because the portal device, both pre and post disaster, is just one chapter, and then the box puzzle and stuff is a different chapter. Office complex is office warrens. We've got hostiles in the alpha with security complex, but in beta and retail, it's more of a warehouse. So we just kept it. We've got hostiles.
Was there any point?
Last pit was screaming whispers.
Was there any point when we could pick up his weapon, the minigun? Was it?
No.
So
They
it
never
was
intended
never
you.
in game. I mean,
Never.
for a player.
They never intend you to pick. You can pick up his ammo, but you can't pick up his minigun.
We were thinking about something like that, but
We thought about adding it in, but A, you would get it way too early into the game. B, the balance would be terrible.
we were thinking about doing it something like Sven Co-op, when it just limits you to using the MP5 and limit to the minigun, and then cripple your movement. But then once you get the minigun, there will be no point in using it because you got rid of the squad. So it's like kind of a situation.
Even in that situation, the player's just gonna choose the minigun over every other weapon.
Yeah. If you were
And if we were to give the player like certain like large caps to the minigun, they're gonna ultimately be like, oh well, this isn't fun, and they just never use the minigun. So it's a lose-lose.
This could be one of the reasons why they cut this heavy weapons guy. Because everyone would be too... Well, they would feel bad, you know. Oh my god.
Yeah, you pick up
This was unexpected.
vibes and stuff, but you couldn't pick up their minigun, so people wouldn't feel rewarded.
Although I'm sure that the reason they cut the human assault is that they were done with the H-Cron AI, but then they realized that the human assault was very outdated AI-wise. Like, you can see some screenshots of the human assault on the 19398 build, and I'm pretty sure that's why they just decided to cut the enemy instead of actually working on it, because they were like weeks before release. I was going to say something about I don't know, I'm just going to talk about it later. Oh, security complex. We tried to do something about it and we gave up.
We in the current build, We've Got Hostile still has a lot of the flaws that are in the demo version.
We,
That's also
we
the first
fixed
time I saw.
them.
That's also the first time I've seen someone take that route to get.
Yeah, that's true. Just using the crates instead of going all the way around.
Wasn't this the place where the screenshot with soldiers holding one of the scientists made here?
No.
I
Nope.
just remember
Nah.
the map there.
This is just something we had created.
Oh, so it
That's
wasn't even
that thing is
on the
no.
screenshot.
The screenshot you're thinking of is footfall/power up.
You change cliff textures. They already changed, already made a set of textures, but they will be only on the desert areas of surface tension. The cliff is going to have the retail mountain textures because they really don't look good with the beta ones.
They look very primitive.
Yeah.
Alright, I guess I'm near the end of the chapter.
Yep.
Because the next one would be footfall.
Nope. It would be Blast, but in the demo it would be
Yeah, I know.
Communication Center.
Wasn't Blast Pit footfall?
No, that's power up.
Ah, yeah. I
Blast Pit's Scream and Whisper.
I love how simple the prototype level titles were. Screams and whispers, because you have to be quiet about the tentacle.
And then you got residue processing, which just shoots and ladders.
Yeah, they already setting in to be the most annoying chapter from the beginning.
I mean, it could work if they designed it well, but they didn't.
You'll have to use the ladder on top of you because that's the wrong vent. I think it's the same order as on retail. It's the bottom and then the other bottom one.
Yeah, and I never remembered which vents are correct ones.
Yeah, no worries.
Also, an error with the demo is for some reason the ladder movement was like way too slow. No idea how. Yeah, it's slower than the alpha. I don't know why.
We took that out. Don't worry. You won't be having.
It's fixed. And if
You
it
won't be
annoys you enough, just change it to the retail bot. We kept it in.
You won't be dealing with any Metal Gear ladders on the future versions of the game.
Yeah, and also it's a cool feature actually that everyone can kind of customize everything how he likes it. Just go
For
to
you
options
all.
and
Yeah.
you can enable or disable some things in there.
Yeah, I found that out from I think it was Half-Life Arrangement. That mod used the same thing for the receivers and stuff, and I kept like editing the files and looking around what did what, so I just like remade it. It was very interesting how there are no limits to that menu too. There we go. That's
All right, part 1 of the demo is complete.
We originally intended Blast Pit to be in the demo, but it was not ready, and it's still not ready.
no, it's going through another rework. I think it is the third rework.
We've redone the chapter like
Yeah,
4 times. At this
and
point.
this place is for me it was interesting because in retail it's the place where ceiling parts are coming down on you, and here there wasn't any sequence like this.
Yeah, true.
And
I mean, the whole chapter
was different. Yeah.
Yeah. This is about as similar as it was. This lobby. It's even different than the one in the alpha.
This chapter is going to, because I still didn't tackle that yet, sorry, but it's going to have some rework on the warehouse area. We are going to implement the cut loader cinematic.
This part 2 will be reworked, and maybe we'll overhaul data core a little bit.
Yeah, it's going to go through some changes. Nothing big of a deal. It's just about getting it done more than anything. But this chapter is really interesting, like how they wanted yet another puzzle, and the idea behind it was really cool. The problem is that the placement of the chapter was really weird. Like just after surface tension, you will get this chapter. Also, for some reason, Valve wanted you to deliver the satellite to USNRC, which is an actual organization, and they had to rename it to the Deathmatch Maps. Something really weird.
So I'm gonna read the
And this place, I remember there were some screenshots taken from.
Oh
Whoa,
my
what?
god, Zivax. Yeah, there's a head grabbing in there. So if you have to remake we restore the beta RPG. Beta RPG samples is already remade. Like we still have to tweak the textures, but nothing too big. Like we already have custom animations for it.
the Fox. Yeah, we will be releasing the FGDs and the source code to Absolute Zero.
Talking about the FGDs, we got one of our team members, Bettis. He remade the FGD for us, so it's
Yeah,
cleaner and not hacky.
and we also lost the one we had beforehand.
Even then, the one that we lost was really bad. I just copied other entities and work around with them. So good for us that Bettis helped us with the FGD.
Is that SDK release material also going to include the RMFs?
Eventually. I have plans to release the full development. I just read a comment that came in. Tyler, the demo has been out for 2 years now.
You can wait for an updated demo that we don't know when it's going to release, but you can try it. But you're going to struggle a little bit with some parts because we were really unexperienced with the game with modding when we did this.
Back to what I was saying, because I lost track of what I was saying. I do have plans to release all the development assets to Absolute Zero after the mod development reaches a full decade of development. Hopefully we're out by then. If we're not out by then we'll have to delay that release as well.
Yeah,
But I hope that we don't have to wait another year for AZ to actually come out. I really do hope we come out this year.
Same.
Or at least early 2020. I don't want to have a full decade worth of development and still not have it out.
That would be insane if you think about it, but
yeah, any chance to see AZ this summer? We'll probably not, but we'll reevaluate our situation and see how exactly it'd be ready.
If anything, we are going to aim for releasing the game up to apprehension.
Like as an updated demo type deal.
Yeah, of some sort. Like we will just be releasing the arcs of the game, which honestly is going to be more accessible for us because trying to get the game completely done is something impossible with our current situation.
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible, but it will take a lot of time.
Hopefully we'll have an updated demo out. Best case scenario, we'll have the full mod out by this end of this year, but don't hold me to it. Don't hold me to it. Don't hold me to it.
Yeah, don't hold me.
Last time we were like, yeah, we'll definitely release by then. Look, everyone's active, everything's going good, and then Cools vanishes for 7 months.
I started university.
Yeah,
I
I'm
had
one of
lot
those
of
people
problems.
who really expected to play the full full version of your mod at February.
We are so sorry.
Yeah, I wish we made that date, dude.
At the same time,
I very much wish.
As a person who himself worked on some projects and I do know how it's hard for someone who is making mods and not full games, and he doesn't have simply cannot spend all his time working on something on this project It's
It is a
completely
hobby
understandable,
project.
but
Vito,
Yeah.
do you know how long I was waiting for the E3 2003 remake maps, and then you just left and went to the military, and then
since
poof,
2009,
all my hopes lost.
because
Damn.
the first attempt I made for E3 2003 fix was in 2009, even before I started E3 2002.
Mm.
But anyway, back to this mod. Yeah, this location, I don't remember any screenshots from it.
Yeah, this
Very
is
small.
completely done from scratch. Yeah.
And it shows.
Yeah. We also remade this warehouse like 3 different times, and they all have very unique designs, but every single one of them played like crap, including this one.
Do each grunts use strafe animations?
Yeah, there we go. You can see. Yeah, you
Yeah, I
saw it
saw them a
previously.
few times now.
They do it as a cover tactic or as a repositioning tactic. They
Oh,
don't use
here
it
it is.
on an aggressive.
Here's the trip mine.
Yeah, if you place it, it's going to play the place animation.
Yep.
There we go.
I keep reading the chat, and it's like a few seconds behind, or the stream is a few
Yeah.
seconds behind, so I'm
Yeah.
just like,
It's like
You already
30
did that.
seconds
Oh,
behind.
wait. Yeah.
So when Alan's like, "Oh yeah, you can place down the trip mine," I'm looking at it like, "Did he get the trip mine?" And then you were like, "There you go. He played the animation." I'm just like, "No, you didn't equip it."
Yeah, I agree with Seavox. It's something that you have to learn. Like, yeah, this is a third-party project. This is a fan project. There is
Yeah,
no
we have-
money involved. This is
We
going
have
to
jobs,
be.
we have school, and we have life.
I have all of those at the same time, so it's even worse in my situation.
Yeah.
Well, still you have two hours to spend on the mod, so it should be good. Oh, here's the famous location.
Yeah,
Yes,
that only
Jack.
partially works.
I still need the programmer to make a proper Apache entity for being there. I made a hacky thing for the demo. Like, it's really hacky if you look at the source files. Like, even if you decompile them, you can look at it.
Yeah, now if you go ahead and lift up the thing, you'll actually explode the Apache and just kill everyone.
I think you.
Good thing that wasn't in the demo.
Yeah. I'm very glad I wasn't on the demo at all.
We would never hear the end of it.
No. Yeah, it's already deployed. Why is there some HEV?
Oh look, it's
We-
Reese. Hey Reese, yeah, no, Cools is he's just actually gone.
Yeah.
He's
for
straight
real.
up gone. I've talked to him.
Either
about
he's
a lot of it.
ignoring us.
I don't
or
think he's
ignoring us.
he's ignoring pretty much everyone who has sent him a message and communicated him. No one's been
That's
able to
where you come
communicate
from.
him. Yeah, no one's been able to talk to him since November.
Yeah.
And I was talking to him in November about his life situation, which explains why he's missing. I'm not going to go in depth because that's a personal matter. But yeah, I know why he's missing, but I wish he would read his phone.
Wait, is it supposed? I mean, the rotors, are they supposed to be rotating?
Yeah.
Because there's one part of the document where it tells that you're supposed to see some Stuka-bats flying from the sky, and you will use the platform to move the Apache up and kill the Apache. I mean, kill the Stuka-bats with the Apache.
Oh, yeah, and I killed them before.
Yeah,
to,
it's alright. It's not implemented on this demo, but something that we are looking forward for.
to sample this TT. HEV chargers in the mod are lacking because there's not much in the photographs.
And as for why there is so many HEV charges, we introduced HEV charges around the blast pit. You will see them more towards that chapter. That's why the demo has so little HEV chargers. we made that to force the player into using the inventory items, the antidote, the radiation, and the adrenaline. It's like forcing them to use those items and learn what each one does. Also, yeah, that's an engine problem. The flickering texture.
So here we come to Barney suggests to ask the surviving scientists around. Alright. So he is referring to the head scientist. I mean, the female scientist.
That will be cool, but I really tried to went around it. I made 2 Bibles on the chapter about how the female scientists could work, but none of them
Work well.
yeah.
We're gonna implement it just for like SDK purposes, so people can
So
make
here's
maps.
the chapter for you. The uplink is based on, and many believe that uplink is exactly what the cut chapter is, but no, it's not. It's actually it was completely remade back in 1999. It was just some small project led by Kelly Bailey and someone else. I don't remember.
Yeah, the main idea of the chapter was done. I think it was done by Layla, like the idea, not the level designing. And the actual level design for the uplink version was done by that guy, by other guy. It's a really interesting thing.
Put a trip mine down.
That's an elegant way to open a box.
Probably.
It's like that meme of Winnie Pooh.
Oh, yeah, I must find a way to get past this door. And
I also have to change that. It's going to have the same pillars on the other side, and you will have to do something neat about that.
I think there's
You have
some
to-
other area which I didn't explore yet.
All the
Yeah.
scripting on this level is really hacky. I fix all of it. But we still have to make some fundamental changes with the level. How it plays out and stuff. There is 3 ways to get into the room with Barney and the turrets. I think people only found out 2. The other one is really weird how to pull it out.
I mean, it's hidden.
No, the vent one is hidden, but it's kind of accessible. I'm talking about the suicide route.
Huh.
I didn't even know there's two ways. Not
Yeah, there is.
Not speaking about 3 ways.
Yeah, there is the vent and the one by turning off forcing the power down, and there is one when you just have to stack full battery and full life and have an adrenaline charge. You will have to kill yourself by jumping into the electrified beams, and you will make it out of to the other way. All of those 3 choices are foolproof, so they don't break the game. Yeah, well, you will have to break the machines on the other room with the scientist.
Oh, I went back.
yeah, you're going
to everyone mentioning how this is the deathmatch map. It started out as a single player map and then reworked into a deathmatch map, and we
bootcamp, right?
basically this is data core.
Oh, data core, right?
Yeah. They redesigned everything, and then we went ahead and ripped it back to a single player, which is our map is a bit questionable. Austin, you need to destroy the computers.
Yeah, the computers in the lobby. You want that MP5? There we go.
This scientist was supposed to be female scientist, right? It's just a temp, like placeholder. I mean, this guy.
Nope, he is supposed to be male.
Yeah, he's the head scientist. Like he's supposed to be the head scientist.
I thought female scientist was supposed to be head scientist.
No, female scientists were supposed to betray you. They're essentially just a human chum toad. They were supposed to bait human grunts to you.
Yeah, I just thought that female scientist was to, like, this one should be.
No.
This was supposed to be the place where she was supposed to be, but yeah, like I said, I don't know many things about Half-Life 1 Alpha, so Yeah,
Like,
I will believe you.
you know, the dev test maps, or not dev test, the tech demo maps in the alpha, where you're in this like United States office looking type building with the Barney just chilling out,
Wait,
where you can go to
which
blast
computer
pit and
did you
stuff.
talk about?
I'm talking
The
about
one
like the
behind you. Yeah, go outside of this room. Get outside of this room. Those
Oh.
ones.
I was trying to explain female scientists, but whatever.
Sorry.
Yeah, just you need to go break the computers out in the lobby to progress.
I tried to explain that via an end message with really broken English, and I
Well,
think they love it.
it's also because it's a short sentence too. You can't go any longer than certain characters. Yeah, you see those computers right in well, actually, you probably already
Oh no,
broke
oh
them
no.
because I'm looking at the stream.
Yeah, I'm just looking
Ah.
at it. There we go.
Sorry.
Just
I
wait for
sometimes
the
Wait, I didn't even get what I'm supposed to do here.
just go where the barn hid and press the machine.
Oh, now I see it.
Yep.
Wait a minute, and I'll let you in.
Oh, you're all the way back, cat.
Yeah, I was watching the stream thinking it was the live feed. It wasn't. Yeah, the female scientists were supposed to be in X Labs, which isn't exactly communication center. It was a version of it, but it was a much different version.
I love that script. That whole thing about the lights turning off was just something I did out on an accident. Like I was compiling the text lights and only the red lights were showing off. And I just had that idea of the whole room turning off.
Yeah, that looks really cool.
But we did fix the red, so it doesn't wash out everything.
Yeah. Something I learned about level designing in Half-Life or Cold Source games, don't use pure
Yeah.
colors. Just mix it with another color. Engine goes crazy and goes, yeah, I'm going to kill the textures and make them to not look really good and really dark.
Zombies take damage from radiation, unlike in Half-Life 2. And headcrabs too.
Yeah.
I think there's supposed to be.
It's kind of just like an ent hurt.
I think this is the place where another radiation antidote should be. Yeah, here it is.
That's a battery.
Oh. Well, I was wrong then.
I mean, we could put one there if you want.
I think I just read something on over wiki or maybe I am completely wrong. But still, it could make sense, I think, if you would place it here. Oh, and yeah, here it is.
For whatever reason, we initially put like 2 alien grunts in this room because that's what it was intended. But at some point, someone changed it to a panther eye, and no one knows why.
I repeat, tune to the USNRC.
USNRC. All right. So. Oh, so I need to tune it to this location.
Excellent. I'm sending the all clear and the doors should open now. We'll meet you down below.
Did you tune it? Yeah, you should be able to go back to the elevator, and then you will be ambushed by grunts, so be prepared.
Yeah, I remember it. So, basically they reworked that idea with female scientists into this, right? And then, I mean, before scratching the chapter entirely.
The female scientists were cut pretty early on. It was something that predates even the alpha build. It's just I don't know if they ever attempted to bring them back, but I don't know. But they just, in the grand scheme of how the chapter ended up playing out in the final form and more of a proper gameplay standpoint, they just didn't work anymore. They found that they're pretty much useless. Because as I stated, they were essentially just human chumta. They were nothing more than bait. Like, obviously, the human grunts wouldn't attack the female scientists. Neither would the alien grunts and the chumtoads. But they were essentially just human chumtoads. They're just glorified chumtoads. Possibly because I don't think the chumtoad existed at this point. They might have recycled a lot of the features from the female scientists for the chumtoad. At least as we understand the AI for both of them. For all we know, we could be wrong, and maybe they just never had AI for them.
Bro, I'm going to die from a radiation, and it didn't even stop.
Run, run, run!
Still, I have one last chance.
You should be able to zoom in on them.
Oh, I had no idea there is a zoom for a cult.
Yep. Do you have any MP5 grenades?
I don't think so.
Should say underneath the ammo count. There you go. Just chuck a bunch of grenades at them. Should be grunts down there as well. I think you already killed it.
Yeah, right. So now I need to talk about the elevator being emergency only.
Yeah, that was supposed to trigger if you went over there before you had turned on the elevator. Or turned off the power and turned back on the elevator and stuff.
So will it work now? Yeah, it will.
Yeah.
So at one point you're going to make voiceover for science. I mean, for all those dialogues you recorded, right?
Yeah, we will add proper voice acting to the mod, don't worry. A lot of stuff will be conveyed much better in the final release. The rest should be like alien grunts and human grunts. Oh, they don't know that you're even there. They're about ready to do their victory dance.
It's a stealth. I like how they actually thought about adding stealth in Half-Life 2 at some point. Well, kind of stealth.
And that's the day one demo.
So here is. We finished the demo.
Yep.
And we spent 3 hours, exactly 3 hours on it.
Nice.
It
What
was
a
pretty cool
what
experience.
a
And yeah, I really liked it playing the first time, and I really enjoyed it playing the second time as well, especially with all your comments.
yeah.
So what do you say? Should we play some older builds of your mod? Or
How old do you want to go? Do you want to go 2011 or do we want to go with demo shipped?
I don't even know. Let's I guess let's read the comments. Maybe for some people it's well, it's a pretty long stream already. I mean, 3 hours.
Yeah.
So I still I can. I mean, I don't have anything against playing some more builds. So if
Yeah, I have time as well.
if the people in comments if our watchers are want us to play some older demos as well, so we can do it.
Let's see. Is anyone? Nobody said yet.
It's just it's almost half of the minute delay before until they will hear what we are saying right now.
That is true. That is true. Okay.
What builds are available for them to choose from? for us to...
We have the mod back when it was E3 98/97. We have the January 2016 build, which is the build we showed off when we had republished the mod. We have the April 2016 build, which is a year older than the day one demo. And then we have the pre-demo, which is what we sent to a bunch of people to test to make sure the demo was of quality.
What about some new builds of AZ? Well, there aren't any new builds of AZ yet. But like they said earlier, it is possible that pretty soon there will be.
Yeah, we can show some videos.
Let's see. Should we show off like a new chapter from AZ and then show off the older builds and then, you know?
Wait, which new chapter?
Just ask them what chapter they may want to see.
Please don't ask them.
Don't ask Zen. Don't ask them.
So wait, you're already working on it?
I'm not gonna go into detail about Zen. I'm gonna keep it vague like Valve did. Because every single time there's like a feature and they're like they have like an alpha document, it's just like, oh yeah, we're working on it, but we're not gonna talk about it, so hush hush. every preview was like that. It's super weird.
Yeah.
Alright,
So
many people are asking us to play 2011 build. Which one is it?
That is E3 1998.
In any case, if we don't get to show new chapters, we can just show you some footage, some gameplay footage on the ModTV page. No worries about that. We have lots of new chapters that can be... They are like good enough to be playable from start to end. We can make like a highlight.
With this one, you're gonna have to open up the maps via console because the ones available on the menu are just uplink in day one in the training map. Yeah, you're gonna have to probably open up the maps folder and look at it. Actually, I have it on file. I can just tell you maps.
Alright.
Also, I have to go for now. Gotta do some stuff.
All right. Take care, Alan.
Alright,
Alright,
thanks for
bye.
joining us and giving you all its feedback.
And he's gone. Little fast bird he is. Okay. I'll make external drive.
So I asked in the chat what if they would like to see a specific chapter of the new version. The only repeated one I see is surface tension.
I don't know if I want to show surface tension because it's a bit of a rough state.
Other ones people said was Lambda Complex and Zen is out of the question.
And Screaming Whispers.
Lambda Complex I've chopped up and it's not in a state of playability yet, but I was working on it. Blast Pit isn't that
A Russian
entertaining.
comment. Когда ты потянешь английский, господи? Да никогда. Нахрен нет.
On a Rail's a mess. On a Rail's a mess. I could show on a rail, but it'd be underwhelming, I guess. Let's see. Come on. E3 1998 maps. Okay. Now I have the maps folder. Yeah, we got stuff like Lab Remake. Actually, there's a text document out there.
What about Hazard Course? Any changes to it?
Uh,
Suppression by Deep Snow.
Hazard Course, we're not doing Hazard Course yet. That's not in our priority because, we'd rather get the main game done.
So was it any different from Retail? I thought it was one of the last things they added into the game.
Hazard Course is very different from the original, but we only have like 2 blurry screenshots of it. So we would have to get weird with it. Let me grab the map list for the build we're gonna play, which is the 2011 build.
So
Can you guys add the live stream?
What?
Yeah, you can add him. Why not? He's
I mean,
also
I
in your
could.
team, right? Captain Dead.
Yeah, it's just that he's weird with talking.
What do you mean?
Add friends to DM.
So which map should I start with? Or I can
I-
go to the folder myself and check it.
I posted all the map names onto chat.
Oh, I just didn't
Yeah.
realize it. All right.
Yep. This is oh man, chat was rushing by.
Yeah, right. I forgot to.
So the build you're about to see is exactly what AZ was back in 2010 to 2011.
When it was
Apparently,
just
apparently that map doesn't have lighting anymore.
And there's just one room with head crabs.
Yeah, it was just to show off the pistol. I have footage of it. I've released it with the mod. I'm surprised it didn't have. Oh yeah, it loaded up Office Complex.
What? Why?
Nice. Because that was the last autosave.
Oh, it's with. Yeah, I forgot. Never mind.
Yeah, this build is.
So I chose some wrong map for the first to
Yeah.
be showed first.
I mean, if you want to get a little technical and logical here, every map here is a bad map to show off. It's all terrible maps. And it's not even all of them because some of them just aren't compiled for some
So
reason.
is it the oldest build?
This is the oldest build that we have access to still.
It's good to see you.
Everything
He has-
else is just kind of
He has
gone.
nice pants.
Yeah, he has nice blue pants.
It's
I made
still
it.
a rough model.
I made a different version of it,
Wait,
but
is it-
that's long gone.
Is it Captain Z joined us?
Yes, it's
Yes,
Oh.
that's Zed
I-
me. New
Marine.
member.
Used to
Hello.
be
At last.
Phoenix something or other. Phoenix Dragon something. I don't remember.
1351.
So
Yeah.
what is this?
But it was
this
a mix of his
map?
two names actually.
Exactly. I just don't get the main idea.
This
Just
is
to
a bad
show-
map.
And yep, I made that map.
Just to
No, you
show the
didn't.
models.
Not exactly my brother's work, but
This isn't your
I
version.
had to
This
start
is
somewhere.
X-Layer's.
We had to start somewhere.
Said this is X-Layer's version.
Whoa! Look at his face.
Oh,
Yeah, all your maps are not compiled for some reason.
I thought this was my map honestly because the quality is the same.
You both redid the exact same map. I don't know why. This map is every
Pretty sure
map in this
Because
is bad.
Quiver did that map, and it was a cool ship back then.
Everyone was just like, oh yeah, Quiver did it.
Just pay for Quiver, kids.
What didn't Quiver do? Oh look, it's here it is again.
I posted that map on Mod TV actually.
Yeah, this is yours, I
So
guess.
Way
basically
back
it's
in the
just
day.
a map for a screenshot, or what?
Yes.
Kind of.
Recreation.
It was that because at the time we didn't know how anything connected.
So
We were
this-
like young.
This is how
Like,
the mod started. This is
Yes.
how many mod starts actually.
Yeah.
Almost
Yeah.
10 years ago.
We were like 12 years old, not knowing anything.
And in case, if you guys are really curious, even though it's in the build anyway, so redundant, but here it is.
I think this hallway reminds me of some screenshot, but might be wrong.
Yeah, it's an Office Complex thing. Some of these were by Magic Nipples at some point. I think. I actually don't remember. Maybe X-Layer made all the maps. I know a lot of these were also in Half-Life 1997.
Test canal. Oh. Now I kinda remember it.
Yeah, it's.
Except
I remember
there was white bull squid on the screenshot, right?
I may have made some.
Both white and yellow. There are two different eras of photographs of this map. Yeah.
Alright, should we...
None of Zed's maps are in there. They're just kind of removed. Not removed per se. It's like they were lost when we had found the build, and then like a few months later, we had found all of Zed's original maps backed up. So they
Yeah.
weren't able to be added in, but we did release them and absolutely abandoned for
Oh,
people
okay.
to view,
And
which is
this is
some more of our AZ history.
I might even compile all of
Right.
these maps just for shits and giggles.
Should we show something else? I've got some 2 other demos from ModDB. I think the first one made me crash before we launched the stream.
I mean, that's probably because shadows were on.
Wait, I only got one. Ah, yeah,
Yeah.
right. It's because to
You
to
probably
enable...
overwrote the folder.
Yeah. Well, I can try and launch it. I don't know
It's
if
gonna be a
it
weird.
will...
It's gonna be a weird mixed bag of various builds. Let's open up console first.
I will...
R_shadows. Yeah, type R_.
R underscore.
Yeah.
All right.
And set
1.
it to 0. 0. Now it shouldn't crash.
All right. And I don't know which maps does it have, but I can check.
It might be 3 builds mixed together, so it's gonna be fun. Assuming you drag them onto the same folder, I don't know.
Is it HLAZ?
Yeah, HLAZ. Maps.
All right.
I don't even know what build this is, so that's gonna be fun. What are the dates on the maps?
It's 2015.
Okay, so yeah, this is January. This is the build we debuted to ModDB. When we had relaunched our page, we took screenshots on this exact build.
Oh yeah, this is why
Whoa, it's too
intro
loud.
map.
This is weird. I put volume on. Oh, it could be the music.
Yeah, music volume.
Morning, Mr. Freeman. Looks like you're running late.
If it's still loud, you can open up console. I think type in mp3_volume. No.
Here. But is it based on some screenshots or anything?
No, not really. It's just kind of. It just exists.
I think the beta style version of C0A0.
It's not based off anything.
And
In
why
fact, the alpha
you include it
doesn't.
into your latest demo?
Because the alpha didn't have it, or the beta didn't have it. This didn't
Oh,
actually
right.
exist.
So it's one of the last additions into the game, right?
Yeah. It was added in pretty late.
Diagnostic and announcement system welcomes you to the Black Mesas.
Yeah, I forgot to. Yep, I forgot to disable slideshow. Sorry about that.
Good. They didn't need to see that map. They didn't need to see it. Nothing of value was gained or lost. Does
Yeah.
the trigger not work? The
It does.
trigger
It does.
might.
I think it does. Yep.
There we go.
Freeman, looks like you're running late.
So there was no table, no lobby, just this corridor.
Yep, and same like in the demo.
Oh yeah, I can see now that it's pretty close to what you have in your latest demo.
Except much rougher.
Yeah, basically.
Because this is made like nearly 2 years before the demo.
lighting gear has,
It
I
doesn't
think,
even
has been
work
lowered
with
in
the
the
button.
beta.
It's
Lowered
broken.
in the demo, I mean.
For another recalibration.
Aren't there some models in that Half-Life Alpha 0.40? Did you take the models from there? I mean, the scientists.
It's I think it's 0.52, but yeah, we
52.
lifted those assets because they were the same throughout development.
Why do we all have to wear these ridiculous ties?
Was it your guess, by the way, that the suit was to be in Gordon's locker?
Actually, we have the blueprints to this map.
Blueprints?
Yeah, like how the map was actually made. Like we have a hammer photograph of the or rollcraft photograph of the map,
Simulation results
Oh.
are perfectly acceptable.
so we can just see how everything was structured.
So
Yeah, there's
the suit
no
really
mirror.
was to be in this locker.
Yep. From what we can tell, yeah, it was supposed to be in there because the other room was just some toilets.
Right on through, sir. Looks like you're in the barrel today.
As he slowly walks to the button, and then walks away. Ta-da! Door's open.
Employee of the month.
If you want to turn cheats on for this one, I don't mind because it's going to be a lot of the same, but pretty broken.
We can just show some other maps.
Yeah.
Like A1. Oh, here it is. Akira LF.
Yeah. It's just nothing really changed there. It's just the elevator isolated.
All right. What about big room?
I have no idea what. Actually, I think all those are just the parts to the maps. But though big room might have some changes, but I can't remember.
Oh, it's just this area.
Yeah, it's the big room. But it doesn't connect to anything because it was a work in progress at this point.
A1
So
and 1 at this
that's
point.
how you worked on the mod. You just prototype
Very,
some.
very early on, we would just prototype certain areas and then stitch them
A1.
together. We stopped
A1.
doing that after a while.
I didn't explore the breach in my playthrough. I didn't. Well.
Nice scripting error.
So if I jump down, I didn't even know what will happen.
Yeah, a lot of the things that are in the AZ demo will not be in this map because this is a very early rendition of the map. Like the ladder that's supposed to be on that like little ledge is not even there. And you got the yep.
Oh, there's a ladder here, and it even leads to somewhere. Ah, I think it's just leftover from the original retail map.
Yeah, it was,
Same for here.
as I stated, not a lot of this was intended to be played. We were still like structuring out how stuff should go.
Mm.
Yep, and it takes you to the retail map because the old change level is still there.
What else?
There
So-
should be maps in there that aren't even in like anything.
Oh, it's just a test map for heavy guy.
With I think broken AI at this point.
I thought he's shooting this
No.
button.
Nope, he's supposed to be shooting at you, but his field of view isn't correct, so he doesn't actually see you.
When going from these random snippets of maps into trying to actually stitch them together, did you guys run into any problems with grid spacing or anything like that?
With A1A1, yeah, or C1A1. We found out that the way I designed the map was like way too big, but yeah.
That's the bumper I
But
guess.
we
guess
were able
the model
to fix
was
it.
With our
different.
bumper which is a
Or wh-
prop NPC.
Yeah, I don't think either the AI was broken in this point or just didn't exist, so it's just a cycler or something.
Not even that. It just sits there and disappears
Well,
when
at
it's
least
killed.
we can see its tongue.
Yep,
It's pretty
you
cool
got
that
your wish.
Valve modeled this kind of details back in 1998.
Actually, back in 1997, because they had did
Yeah.
the Panther at that point.
And it was a separate bone. I mean, it had a separate bone for the tongue.
Yep.
Well, I guess there isn't anything else to show. Let's check this map.
Only A1A3.
You might have to no clip.
Wrong. Yep.
God sake, open the silo door! They're coming for us!
Yep, this is
Nothing
pretty
works.
old.
Oh my god, we're doomed!
Wait,
Except that
does
works.
G-Man have? Yep, he does. Different face texture from retail.
Yep. And it's the same in the demo.
And the beam is still green.
And nothing much was changed at this point. It's still pretty much just the retail map with different textures.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, that was January.
So how long before your last demo was it? Like 1 year?
The day one demo? That came
Yeah.
out 2 years ago.
No, I mean the demo we just played from day one demo.
Oh, the difference between the build we just played and then
No,
the
I
day
mean
one.
how far they're from each other.
Oh.
In terms of
Let's
time,
see.
I mean. Was it 1 year?
I'd say a year and a few months. Because this would have been mainly December 2015, and the day one demo came out in April 2017.
Oh my god, we did we
About a
just
year and 3 months.
I think we didn't show the last demo at all. It was all slideshow for them.
I think we
Or-
showed the demo. I'm not sure. I mean, I guess I could
Maybe
look
we did.
back.
I
I
just
think we fixed it.
all right
Hold up.
then. That's
Yeah,
that's,
yeah,
that's
no,
good.
they saw the 2011 build. Yeah.
Whew. All right. Well, I guess we can move to some questions and end the stream after that because
Well,
there
I mean,
or
I'll pick a chapter to show off. I'll pick a chapter to show off.
oh, so you want to show off what? Like
Well,
some media or
just show off an actual build or footage,
all right.
or like actually play a build here. I have to figure out what the highest I can put my screen at before it starts cropping.
Deep Snow asking you, did you have issues when stitching the map pieces together, like copy-pasted section being from off the grid because Hammer Warcraft is just wonderful?
I don't think we ever had a grid problem. We mainly just had like, oh yeah, the map's too big, so we had to splice it up and put a change level here.
And also
That's like
another question.
that's the. I'm not going to answer that question because he's asked it like 7 times at this point.
About Hound Dice?
Yeah, he's asked that like 7 times.
I don't even understand what is he talking about. The long mouth.
In the leak of the Hound Eye sources, there's a version of the Hound Eye with a penis, and it was never used in game. It was a render only.
So there were.
And no, it's not going to be an AZ.
There's
no reason.
more of Ted Beckman's influence.
Probably. Ted Backman's reign. Teddy Boy's gonna get his revenge.
And also, Sivak Salary asks, how much geometrical impossible inconsistency is there in the entire alpha level space?
Not that much actually. It's worse in retail actually. If you were to splice together the retail maps into like one big map, you can tell that certain hallways are much longer than what they had actually mapped out. And then there's a lot of parts that just clip into each other. When we were doing AZ, we made certain on a lot of the maps not so it shouldn't do that. I'm not saying that they are there like every map's going to be like that because once you start adding stuff to a map, you tend to forget how it connected to the previous map, but we tried our best to keep it consistent.
So did you choose what to show? Or
in the demo? Or right now? Yeah. I'm working on trying to. I got busy answering questions. Let me pick a chapter. Let's see. We've shown off apprehension a little bit on Twitter, so I'm gonna try to pick something no one's seen yet. I mean, I could try to show off surface tension, but it'd be a pain. So I'm just gonna show off questionable ethics in residue processing. I'll turn on screen share, entire screen.
I don't think I will be able to show it like this.
You sure?
Well,
I'm pretty sure you should be able to like crop Discord, and then you can just crop my little screen.
I will try.
I'll also put Discord on do not disturb mode so people aren't going about spamming me with messages.
All right. I guess they should see it now. My whole Discord. And I don't know if what will happen if. Wait.
I'm not sure if it's been said already, but yes, you can decapitate the H-grunt in absolute 0.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we showed it off.
All right. Are you making it?
Let me just go 1080, 1080, I guess. Or because I was just gonna do it in 4x3. But I'm ready when you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready. But it's just the quality is still not quite good for me of your screen.
Well,
and
I'll
it's
wing
all
it.
black.
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
Oh, all right.
I'm about to go give SV cheats. What? Give item suit. A bunch of dead scientists over here.
Alright, now it's on, but it's very low quality. Is it supposed to be like that for now?
I think that's just Discord.
Well,
But there's no items up here.
it's just I really don't see anything on the screen you're sharing.
So you don't see the fact that I'm. Oh. The thing of surprise. The element of surprise. They'll get to see a JPEG version of what I'm showing off, and they'll just have to make up in their mind what it actually looks like.
Well, thanks Discord.
It's deep
Hey.
development stuff, guys.
You won't see anything because of Discord.
Unless
For
it
now.
clears up.
Well,
I mean,
it
we're not
doesn't.
in the important part, so it doesn't matter.
Could you maybe switch off the screen sharing and turn it on again? Maybe it will help.
Stop sharing.
So it's entirely black.
Now it's not black, but it's still very low quality. There might be some connection issues with Discord. It happens sometimes. Well, not this time, guys. Sorry, not this time.
I mean, they could just watch a blurry screen.
And yeah, Oddog is actually right. It's not really a good idea to stream via stream.
That's fun. Fun to stream on a stream. I hate residue
As for
processing.
screenshots are all in on their ModDB page or their Twitter.
Yeah.
So there's no fun to. I mean, I actually turned them on slideshow. And yeah, it's better to show the slideshow instead of.
Yeah, it's basically stuck on a stationary screen.
Yep.
It's not doing anything.
Well, I'll stop playing AZ then.
Well, it's been already 3 hours 40 minutes, so.
I mean, we could just do a Q&A, I guess, at this point.
We can do what?
We
Oh
can
yeah, right.
Q&A.
All right, Derp Scoot got it. It was a prank. It was a late prank, April Fools for you.
Yeah, that was actually, we were just showing off Project 9, actually, is what that footage was of.
Yeah, that was secretly just Quiver. I am a time traveler. I went back into the past and I grabbed Quiver from them.
Oh yeah, can you maybe give a small like history lesson of Half-Life 1 cut content mods?
There was some mod, I don't remember what it was called, but it only showed off like screenshots of maps.
Outlook data, if I'm correct.
No.
I think I added it on the list. I can check it.
And then there was Quiver. Oh boy, Quiver. I love Quiver.
I remember one of the devs of Quiver, Tundracool. He did pretty nice job for Half-Life 2. His maps were very nice.
He works for Gearbox.
Really?
Or he used to. I don't know if he still does. But he used to work for Gearbox.
Whoa, I had no idea.
That's the one with what DB page.
Yeah, he worked on stuff like Duke Forever, Borderlands 2, Alien Colonial Marines.
So the mod you were talking about, wasn't it Half-Life Beta.
Might have been. It just
It
had
was
like maybe 6 screenshots of maps.
it was mainly map recreations, if I remember correctly.
I also
And
remember that
then
mod by Restalarios called Unknown Half-Life.
that, yeah,
It
he,
seems to be mainly a gameplay mod from what I've seen.
he's an interesting character. Very interesting character. Sometimes I receive very cryptic Discord messages from him, and then he
Too
deletes
bad
them
we
all.
had to ban him from our Discord.
Ah,
And now
nice.
he's a bot there.
But so it goes from the Half-Life Beta, wherever that mod was called, to Quiver, to Half-Life 1997, into E3 1998
Yeah,
slash
it was
1997.
Quiver was first called just 1997, and then they renamed it at some point.
I don't think it was called 1997 at any point. I think it was just Quiver all the way through.
It was
No,
1997 back in
I can tell you
2004.
because I recently found the old website of Tundra Cool, and there was a section for 1997, and there was info that they renamed it into Quiver.
Okay. After Quiver, my memory gets fuzzy because there was a lot of like random mods that popped up like in 2012-ish that were just not good. They were just all like takes on the Zelaroth pack.
Yeah, all those mods could be. I mean, some of those mods could be found in our list on our forum. I made a list of all
There's
such content.
one mod made by one of the developers that would later go on to Shaft like sometime in 2015-16, I believe, that was super proud of the fact that he added more tentacles to the bull squid. And since there were so many lackluster mods at the time, I just took piss out of like every single one of them, including his, and just created a mod that I think is called HL1 Beta mod. I made it
Yeah,
just to take the piss out of like all these low quality beta mods, and I did everything. I played character, and people believed it. And years later, long after the account was banned, people are still on the page defending it, and I don't know why. It was a joke. It was always a joke. There's people in the comments being like, "Leave him
year
alone."
was 2013.
Come again?
The only year the mod was active was 2013.
Yeah, because it was a troll mod. It was a joke. It wasn't real. It was me to take the piss out of everyone. And then I think Unknown Half-Life came out in 2012, but I'm not sure. Maybe it was 2013. My memory's everything is slapped together in like the middle. And then there was Shaft. Everybody remembers Shaft. No one will shut up about Shaft. Shaft this, Shaft that.
Yeah.
After that, maybe In Deep came around, and then Rainfall would surface.
Rainfall was an interesting mod. Still kind of a shame that it died out because the take on
Well,
the
I heard it
beta
didn't
concepts was
exactly
pretty
die
interesting.
out. It's kind of on hold right now.
Yeah.
I don't see it coming back, but that's kind of up to Lady Jane. You know, he might return to it. He might not. He's probably gonna focus on Starlight a lot more. Which, if you haven't checked out Starlight, you should check out Starlight. One of the more impressive Half-Life mods thus far.
What's Tactical Boomer?
That's
something
Tactical Boomer. Tactical Boomer is just me. I'm Tactical Boomer.
So it's your past nickname?
No, it's I got banned on my original Theuaredead account because someone falsely reported it, claimed I hacked someone's account, and MyDB's like, yeah, I believe that, and just banned me. And when I disputed it, they're just like, yeah, whatever, make a new account. And the new account was Tactical Boomer. So now it's just _Theuaredead.
Oh, and yes, Sivoxalary just reminded the big news that Nikolai Ulov was banned from ModDB.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did that. He was using my team's code, and I already warned him. He was also pretending that his mod was his original idea when the name, the goal, the code were all just my team's. And he was just using it, and I already warned him. I told him to cease operations, or else I would report him to the staff. And then he ceased for like a few months, and he came back, still was doing everything I had told him to cease on, even though he said he would cease. So I reported him. Didn't help that he was also pretty much giving away Half-Life Source for free.
Well, that's actually an odd thing that for some reason Half-Life cut content community attracts all sorts of some strange people.
Yes, definitely. Oh man, there's so many weirdos that I've like.
And many of you doesn't even remember some of them, but I remember all those weirdos from like 2008 or even earlier.
Yeah, I wasn't here.
There were even more. There were even more no one remember about.
Were any of these as crazy as Stellars or Nikolai Alov?
What?
Were any of these equally crazy as Stellars or Nikolai?
No. The Nikolai Aulov and Restelaros, they're just there are no competition for them.
They're in their own league. Alov, I don't think understands English enough.
Yeah, it could be.
Also doesn't understand programming enough. I probably shouldn't be openly, talking smack, but he did literally just plagiarize. I can't say that word.
Plagiarize.
Yeah, he did straight up do that, and then expected to get away with it, and then try to prove his innocence by releasing the source code, in which my name was still in it, multiple places.
And do you know what's funny? Well, you do know that he places his real world address on every mod in the console.
I don't think that's like anything weird per se, because when I was archiving a bunch of Half-Life mods, and I would see like certain Russian developers do that as well.
So the thing is, he lives literally few bus stops from my place. I can go and visit him anytime.
Oh, let's not and just say we did, okay?
Hey, do you guys want to get?
Yeah, I agree.
A little more.
I agree.
Talk about what's going on with
I agree.
For everyone involved.
I agree. I didn't.
All right.
Don't want to go deep down that rabbit hole.
Yeah. There are definitely a lot of good, crazy characters on the Half-Life community, but does anybody have any other questions about the release of Absolute Zero or any other things like that?
Well, there will be another half of a minute until they.
Oh, there's a question. There's a question targeted towards me about Mark Laidlaw and the Last Newspaper Man. No, I have not contacted Mark Laidlaw about the Newspaper Man. I don't think the world is quite ready to hear the news about the Last Newspaper Man. Gordon Freeman, Last Newspaper Man. Wow, Last Newspaper, very good. Not ready for it, but he was ready.
Wait, I don't even have any idea what are you talking about right now.
There was a plot line for Half-Life 2 where Gordon was going to be known by like all the rebels and stuff as like the last man on the last newspaper. And
oh yeah, I remember Alex even mentioned it in the early Kleiner's lab sequence.
And they cut it because it was just like it was not that good of an idea. And I think I found an interview, or someone sent me an interview of Mark Laidlaw talking about that plot line, and it was just like, yeah, the world wasn't ready for it, but I was. It's such a silly plot line. I'm glad that never went into any version of the game, really. Last newspaper. Wow. But
Well, I
yeah,
guess-
anyone got like questions?
Well, I guess they don't.
Yeah.
Good. I'll be left for the archive and just ask questions. Y'all got some questions?
All right. I think we should wrap it up. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about before we end the stream about any of the timelines for what people are expecting or things that you think people should know?
I hope
Any
AZ
other
comes
side projects
out.
people are working on?
Side projects. Fragnet. It's coming. Don't know when though, but it's coming. Be prepared. Check out Starlight. Starlight's pretty good. Check out The Waste by Vera Visions. That's a pretty good game. It needs some players though.
So do you also work on Starlight?
No, I don't work on Starlight. I just wanted to give them a plug because I just think it's one of the more crowning jewels of the Half-Life community in the past like decade. We
Yeah,
haven't had a mod that ambitious since.
I've seen
I
the
don't know.
trailer. It looked very interesting. Well,
Yeah, we haven't
I'm
had it.
I'm not really into this kind of games, like about some.
I mean,
I don't know how to call it. Those worlds with angels and stuff like that. But the trailer, it did make it to me pretty interesting.
let's see. I'm trying to go through other things to plug. Follow us on Twitter at Cobalt57Dev. You can find like a lot of updates on there for AZ because we don't frequently update our ModDB just because we only want to publish the most polished content. As for other things, no. I already mentioned Fragnet, but Fragnet's coming soon. I don't know when. Don't want to say any dates until we have a thing running that I can go ahead and start testing. Because we're still very much in the prototyping stages. I'll go ahead and replug The Wastes again. You can find it on Steam. It's by Vera Visions. Okay, we got an actual question by Zelamon. How much of the original maps and designs do we actually know? We know a good portion of Office Complex. We know the first map of C1A0, like front and back, because we have the blueprints.
Oh, there's one question I wanted to ask you, and I forgot about it during the stream. So you do know how recently we started kind of dividing the development of Half-Life 2 onto different eras. So is it possible to divide Half-Life 1 onto different eras as well? Like
only 2 eras, really. Only 2 eras, and it's the alpha, and then there's the beta, and then if you want to factor in the retail era.
So it's like before they hired Mark Laidlaw and after, right?
No, Laidlaw was on the project pretty much for the whole thing.
But he was only since
It's basically before they rebooted the project is like the 0.51, and then there's like post that and pre that. It's like the alpha design where you got like security complex and stuff like that, X Labs. And then there's the beta, which is kind of like the retail game, but has some extreme differences still. And then there's retail. There's nothing else. Let's see. Someone asked if we're doing a Half-Life 2 beta mod. No. I'm just gonna put that one blunt and straight down. The fact it took us pretty much a decade to get AZ to where it is today, I don't want to spend another decade remaking Half-Life 2. Because there's so much more content.
You can check the list on our forum. There were more than 50 mods about Half-Life 2 beta, and none of them come out in anywhere near completion
Yeah.
yet.
Let's see. Will there be any changes to maps that we already have made or that have already been made for AZ? Yes. There's a lot of actually, you can even check the newer media and you can tell that we've already changed certain maps up. Like we've recently teased that we were reworking the later half of Office Complex. It's quite funny that we have a beta of Half-Life 2, but not any alpha builds of it. But we have an alpha Half-Life 1, but no beta builds of it. Not actually that funny, considering there was no press build of Half-Life 2. Valve kept it pretty internal. The only reason we got the beta is just like it was, someone breached the data, or yeah, I guess breached their database, and then, downloaded it and we
Well,
shared it with some people, and then my got leaked it.
technically speaking, it wasn't even a beta. It's just how we call it from the start, from the day it was leaked.
Yeah, because Valve even considers what we consider the Half-Life beta the Half-Life alpha. There really wasn't a beta of Half-Life, unless you want to count day one. Day one's probably what they considered the beta. Let's see. But yeah, I'm surprised we haven't had more leaks of Half-Life 1, considering how many builds we know are in possession of certain people, and the fact that so many press discs came out. I'm surprised we never got 0.61, considering we had the unauthorized screenshot leak of that, and even have its document for some reason. It's a mystery to me how we don't have more. Seavox asks, what is your personal favorite of any cut concepts you are remaking? A map, a chapter, a mechanic? What's most missing from Half-Life, I guess? There's a lot of good things in it.
I see communication center.
Communication center's pretty cool, but our take on it needs some work. There's a lot of like stuff they were ambitious about that they never got to like flesh out or make. On a rail was a casualty because beforehand the chapter was good, from what I can tell it was good, and then Valve didn't like how it was going, but like with the amount of time they had left, they had to rush it. So we ended up getting what is known as the final on a rail, and hopefully with AZ, we hope to fix on a rail and make it not such a pain.
And will there be a version where, those trains from earliest videos of On a Rail?
Yeah, the one in Deep on
I think
preliminary
so, yeah.
finding. Maybe. You might see it in the first level of On a Rail, but don't quote me. Let's see. Are you doing real-time moth growth? Please, I beg you. No.
Gabe Newell is not.
From what I could tell, that was not even like from pre-release.
Yeah, if it was ever prototyped in the actual game and actually in any official beta or screenshot, I'm sure they would have worked on it and added it to their mod. But I think that was just purely a design feature that wanted to happen.
Yeah. And from what I understand, even that interview might have taken place after Half-Life 1 even came out. Because there was discussion that it might be something that was considered for Half-Life 2. But I didn't look into that very much, because real-time moss grow and alien breeding in Half-Life 1's engine is beyond what AZ can do. But
If you guys want real-time moss growing and stuff like that, you could play Natural Selection 2. I think they had some type of thing like that.
And that used to be a Half-Life mod. Let's see. Any favorite cut animations models from Half-Life 1, like E3, pistol reloading, or character movements? The zombie fight, where because Ted Backman was a black belt instructor, and he was at one point the Barney, so they made a jab at it in the little event in Office Complex where he decides to do some karate on a zombie, but the zombie ends up picking him up and just slamming him against a wall and eating him. The timeline stuff, probably not. I'm not fully familiar with that, but it's also possible that was just a very early idea that never actually got anywhere.
Yeah, it could be just left over in FGD and not
Yeah.
even in the code.
Yeah. Well, even then, like, it could have been something like, oh, that could be cool, and then they never figured out how to even implement it.
Well, I guess this could be the end of the stream for now.
Every single time someone asks a question, are you gonna do this that Shaft did? No. Just no. That's my answer for each of those questions. No.
I can see there are many mods you don't like.
I mean, I worked on Shaft at some point, very early on, and it was not my favorite experience. But it's not out of that, but like it's just people constantly
okay.
come to us. Hey, you gonna add this feature from Shaft?
Well,
No,
people
because
don't
that
know
was
much
their
about
idea.
a lot of people don't know the history of Half-Life, so they just see what's in media releases. So they'll be curious. It's nothing personal to the project. It's just a feature that they see.
Well, some of them just think that since
Yeah, I know.
Shaft did it, we should do it as well.
Either
Boss
way.
asks, are you gonna call your mod Shaft? Yes, it's now renamed to Shaft Absolute Zero. Thank you.
2002 HL2 beta stream when? Well, not in the nearest future. I finished some maps, but I don't work on it right now, and I don't have time, and I don't have even a wish to work on it. Maybe I will start working on it sometime later. As for this stream, thanks to everyone for watching us. It was, well, to me it was another pretty interesting stream to be in, and of course thanks to Cobalt. Damn it, I forgot your name.
Theuaredead.
Yeah.
But
Cobalt
you had
57.
No,
I mean
three, your team.
three. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So
Cobalt
thank you very much for the Theuaredead for coming in, Lionel C, and Captain Zed, I
Yeah.
believe.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you guys very much for coming on and showing us, giving us your input on how the development of this mod is. It's very, very cool.
You can find us on ModDB. You can find us on Twitter. You can find us on Discord. You can find us. You can find us on One Up Gaming, whatever that site used to be called. You can find us on Xfire. Add us on Live. Add us on. Trying to think of other weird, obscure.
And as for
add us on SegaNet.
Usenet.
Join our IRC. We don't have one. Join our TeamSpeak. Maybe even our Ventrilo.
As for demos we were playing during the stream, you can find all of them on ModDB, and you can find day one demo also on our site on Half-Life HL2-beta.ru. And well, this is the end of the stream. Goodbye, everyone, and for me, good night.
All right, thank you, everybody.